Pewter is about possibilities. It is an idea made real. Crafted with precision. It can make tradition timeless. Pewter evolves. When allowed to be free, it can captivate you. Pewter is our legacy, and we're keeping the legacy alive. Royal Selangor, since 1885.
Hello and happy Valentine's Day! Welcome back to eRacing GP. This is the 70th edition of Global Edition, and alongside me here is Justin Roldem. My name is Emazik, and we are delighted to bring you today the first round and the very first race of the entire season. And it felt almost like yesterday that we were just wrapping up the final round of the season of Global Edition 16, but now we immediately get back and hit the ground running here, Justin.
Yeah, I mean, we've had 17 fantastic seasons of racing in Global Edition, I remember, coming in GE12, and that was an absolutely insane season. So, doing 5 seasons afterwards, the racing has evolved. It's been insane. And obviously, we are now 17th season of Global Edition. It's going to be a lot of chaos, a lot of drama.
Absolutely, and a lot of new faces to come into play, especially given the fact that the very first class that we're going to go up today is the Copper class. So it is the newcomers class, but some drivers are more experienced than others, and some were in the bronze category, but then they got dropped into silver. So without further ado, let's get into the bit of housekeeping before we get into the nitty-gritty, which is the racing itself after this. So here's a reminder of what we saw from last season, the championship winners in Global Edition 16. Roy Ripperip finally clinches his first ever one for the Philippines and Veloce Ragazzo. But it was double heaven for the silver and bronze class winners because Muhammad Fazalim and Tehan Ranga from Sri Lanka are part of the Sim Racing Lanka team. So that was double delight for them. And on top of that, they also won their class in the Pro-Am category in Endurance Edition. So definitely ones to look out for here because they are both making the step up to racing together in gold and silver. Meanwhile, Ethan Lowe, as Justin was making a bit of a gesture there, he's happy to see that the young gun has finally come good here by winning last season in Global Edition 16 for Pepega Racing, is Ethan Lowe.
What an insane season this was. I think in every single class, it was some of the most closest battles we've had, in the majority of the seasons. Obviously, with 17 seasons, the racing's always been close, but I felt like this season has been one of the closest. We witnessed the intense battle in bronze. Obviously I was part of the championship battle there. That obviously went, great. So let's look at the team standings for last season. So Pepega Racing, is the current constructors champion and is obviously looking to hold that championship. But in second, not too far off, Handshake Sim Racing, is closing in. They might be looking to make a comeback this season. They are definitely looking to overthrow Pepega Racing and just trailing behind Sim Racing Lanka, I think they might have a genuine shot at the constructors this season as well.
Indeed, and he's smiling at you right now because Pepega Racing team is the team that he's racing for, but no such biases here right now because, of course, still plenty to race for, especially given the fact that now they got a target in their backs, knowing that they are coming into this season as champions. Meanwhile, the nation standings that we have afterwards. It was a very close affair last season as Malaysia and Indonesia went all the way to the final round of the season. Look at that, just about 100 points above, and pretty much like Sim Racing Lanka close behind the handshake Sim Racing. That was as close as you can get between the two nations. Philippines in third, and Sim Racing Lanka being carrying Sri Lanka all the way to fourth place here. Let's hope they can actually go a few times better here in this upcoming season. And next up is what we're gonna have in store for this season. So, as we announced already on our social medias through Facebook, through X, and Instagram, the first round of the season is none other than Fuji Speedway. And look at that, Mount Fuji overlooking the circuit, and it's one of the most enigmatic backdrops in any racing circuit because you got a big mountain, a dormant volcano looking at you from afar. But no doubt the drivers will not be distracted by that. They want to get the racing underway. That will be today on the 14th of February on Valentine's Day. Then in a fortnight's time, we'll be going for round 2, which is going to be a circuit that's going to be announced. But we will get further into the season. There'll be a couple of format changes. We're not going to tell it in this round, but we will explain further as the season progresses, Justin.
It will be a surprise, ladies and gentlemen. So, alright. So, obviously, round 1, we're going to be at Fuji Speedway, 4.5 kilometers long, clockwise, 16 corners. I think this is one of the more technical tracks. There's a lot of sharp corners, there's a lot of fast flowing corners. It's a really exciting track. You got a straight, how long is that straight, Ammo, actually?
About 1.058 kilometers long, if I'm mistaken.
Goodness, that's a quarter of the entire track. So a lot of time to be gained there in this track right here.
Indeed, and that straightaway is going to be quite fun to see when the hypercars take to the track for the first time ever. Remember last time we were in Fuji, the top class was the GT1 category. Now things have changed. We have actually stepped up a few gears. This is the latest iteration of the Le Mans Hypercar and LMDH category by the Racing Rats. So the hypercars definitely have been a top draw, and a lot of drivers have signed up to race on the Go class, but we have to tell them that they need to actually handle these quite well so that they could be a part of it. Otherwise, they'll just try to hand it in the silver category with the Le Mans Prototype 2 cars also made by the Racing Rats. And a bit of a change in the bronze class because we have the same FIA GT3 cars from BCRC, but the version of the cars will be a bit different, Justin.
It's a lot more quicker, almost 4 seconds quicker than the previous iteration of the bronze cars for BCRC. So these GT3 cars are going to be very quick, and obviously in Copper class, the all reliable Cayman GT4 from official Coolness content.
Indeed, and that's again the same class that we have classes of cars that we've been using for the last few seasons, and it's been a popular batch of cars that we have seen so far. So I think let's not fix something that's broken. Well, it ain't broken, so might as well just go for another season. And this, meanwhile, we're setting the stage for the Copper class, but a few of the main protagonists from last season were not making their appearances here. Case in point, the kid, we can't say guy or drive the man finishing first because he's still pretty much in his teen years. Ethan Lau will be actually making his debut in the bronze category after this, but he won last season by the slimmest of margins, 6 points ahead of Eric Satria and 7 ahead of Eric Chandra. Both of those guys were actually coming quite good towards the end of last season, but they just couldn't stop the fact that Ethan had some decent consistency to make it to the top. And for your team, Justin, that was actually quite an achievement, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't expect, to be winning the championship at this stage. Actually, no, I say that. I was expecting to win the championship there, but Ethan, in his full official season, absolutely dominated. I wouldn't say dominated, but he definitely put up a fight against Eric Satria and Eric Chandra. The battle was really close, against these guys, and I hope to see that in this season of Copper.
Indeed, and the fact that he also went a long way in instrumenting the victory in the teams category for Pepega, wasn't it? Because that championship was definitely why he managed to just inch ahead for Pepega to win that one. And for you, Justin, personally, this track comes back with a little bit of mixed feelings, but I think you're definitely ready to put the ghost to bed.
Don't remind me, man. So, for those of you that don't know, ladies and gentlemen, exactly a year ago, this was the track that was pretty much the title decider between, I think, my first full season, which was G14, if I'm not mistaken. So I was fighting against Azib Shami Mokhtar, once again my teammate, and pretty much it came down to the wire, and it was at this very track, and unfortunately I didn't win the championship here. I lost the championship in the most graceful manner ever. But yeah, I'm willing to put that aside. I think Fuji is still a pretty great track to run on, especially for the GT4 class. It's a technical track that I believe is very good for beginners. So let's take you on a track guide around this. So there's obviously the one kilometer long straight here. You know, we are currently on board. Duran Abisekera is going to be one of the championship contenders, hopefully for this season. He's been putting up, you know, in practice he had, I think, the fastest time. The 45.8, if I'm not mistaken.
And he now has gone into a 45.7. So that definitely got him going here. And it's a bit premature to say that he will be a championship contender because you never know what's going to happen during the races. But the fact that Duran has hit the ground running from the word go here in qualifying, that shows that he really wants to take the championship by the horns and really own it. As behind him is his fellow countryman, Ranidu Karunaratne, from Sri Lanka as well. And that is only about 5 times per second. I would say only because that's the first time that we've seen Ranidu up there. So let's see what they can do in the closing stages of qualifying. And this season is a bit of a change again. We did talk about changing formats. The biggest change in qualifying has been the fact that we increased the time now to 10 minutes. So at least it's not going to be a hectic beat to the door type traffic jam that we saw in previous seasons. As Duran goes a bit wide, Abisekera runs a bit wide the chicane there, and that would definitely upset his time. So we will see later on if that actually really has put paid to him improving his time. He will get one more chance after this. As meanwhile, we're looking further ahead up the road to Ranidu Karunaratne, and he is coming around the final corner here. The long parabolic turn that's a bit like the Sepang International Circuit in 14-15, but unfortunately he's right behind one of your boys here, Justin.
Actually, he's gone a little bit off track there. I don't know if that lap time counted, but he may be, you know, setting himself up for a flyer here. Actually, no, I think he should, because he should be staying in the slipstream here of Asher Shakur, one of my drivers for Pepega. So has he improved? I don't think he has.
And the answer, yeah, let's see.
Yeah, so I think he's definitely setting himself up for, you know, a flyer lap here.
But again, he has traffic right in front of him, so we will wait and see whether or not that will affect him, as Duran Abisekera might be coming around the first corner now. And yep, he did improve that time around. The mistake at the chicane has cost him a bit, but looks as though he and Ranidu Karunaratne will be up in front here, leading the way for the Sri Lankans as into the pits. The best of the Malaysians so far. Wei Shin Wong is in third. Thiago Pereira is going to come up to fourth, so he definitely has pace within his legs here, and he definitely has enough time to try one more lap. As Adriamit, who is in fifth, sporting the Petronas Prima Escalas. I don't know if that is actually part of his livery, but whatever it is, he's not going to improve his time now because he's actually gone off the track. So let's see where Ranidu Karunaratne and Duran Abisekera will try to improve the time here, because Karunaratne is right behind Asher Shakur, and looks like Asher is now obliged to give way because he is on a flyer himself. But this is going to compromise the both of them.
Oh, Asher, I am clinching in my seat right now. Asher, do not mess this guy's lap up. But yeah, it's going to be a very close battle here between, you know, Duran Abisekera and Ranidu here. I think, you know, if Ranidu can get a good exit out of the final corner here, he definitely will be able to have a jump. But Asher Shakur goes a little bit wide there. He goes off track, lets him by. So he's not going to have that slipstream that, you know, he really wished he had for the entirety of the track. But let's see if he can get a good lap in.
Indeed. Out of the final corner comes Karunaratne, and it looks as though he's trying to take the narrow line, but he actually doesn't want to actually make any more moves because that would lose him momentum and taking too much distance to the start finish straight. And looks as though, nope, no improvement there. Ooh. Where is Abisekera coming? In fact, Abisekera is going to come across the line now. And let's see what his lap time is going to be. Nope, no improvement.
No improvement at all.
45.7, but it is Duran Abisekera and Ranidu Karunaratne for the Sri Lankans up in front. So there's a front row lockout here, and the chat has gone crazy for Sri Lanka, that's for sure. And those guys will be coming up much later after this to see how this is going to go. But that's definitely laying the gauntlet in the copper class, and see how this is going to be shaping up in the future races. Third place, Wei Shin Wong, we saw just now. He actually ended qualifying early, only just missing out by about a 100th of a second from Karunaratne. With Thiago Pereira, I think it's another one of the Sri Lankans. He's in P4, and fifth is Randy Go. So now then, let's see how the race is going to pan out, because again, this circuit, especially turn number 1, you experienced it before in the Mazda MX-5s that time, and no, you don't start making it theater here. But turn number 1 can be quite a tricky spot, especially given the fact that that is quite a choke point, isn't it?
I mean, turn 1, yeah, obviously is a tricky point. You know, when you start off the race, your tires are going to be cold, your brakes are going to be cold, so it's a tricky corner for you to survive at. Let's be honest here. So I think ideally, for any drivers out there, who want to tackle this track in the future, or even the bronze and silver or gold drivers, participating further on, obviously it's recommended to always lift a little bit before it breaks and before you brake. So just to give yourself a little bit of leeway to, kind of predict where the guys in front are, braking, so you obviously don't cause a pileup. And if you don't, you're going to have people just ramming into you, and then your race is completely ruined.
Indeed. Now then, let's see any other drivers who are actually behind here that we can put of note. Adrian, of course, P6, running that Petronas Premix color just now. He, he's only about, what, 11 years old, I think, but he's already a veteran in the category because he's raced so much in ERGP ever since he first burst onto the scene all the way back in 21. So we can say all the way back in 21 because some of these guys have been racing for that long. Now, other drivers, Faiz Badriawan, who's one of the fast Indonesians here. He's first of them, in fact, in P8. Joining him in 9th and 10th is Melvin Malik. So another one of the Malaysians right there. So this is the look on the grid. We like to actually cycle through the cameras to see the driver's point of view. Well, from up in front, we have the likes of Duran Abisakera and Ranidu Karunaratne. That's their view up to turn number 1. It's about a 400-meter run to the first corner, but definitely will be quite daunting for them to see that the rest of the field is right behind. And in the middle of that midfield, we have, for the likes of Ashish Shakur, one of your mates here, he's definitely not going to be looking at the fact that there's going to be a lot of drivers right in front of him. Another debutant, Damien Arif, he's in P13. He's actually racing from Axel Academy right now in the simulators over here. So that'll be nice to see how he's going to fare. But we're going to focus now to the lights. We're soon going to begin the first race of the entire season here for Global Edition 17. Karunaratne and Abisakera on your left and right of the screen. We're underway, and it looks as though it is a clean start for Abisakera because he's got the best launch out of the both of them. But Karunaratne tries to duck in behind. Whoa, a bit of a slide there. I think he's lost control. All of them losing control.
Oh my goodness.
They've lost it. They've outbraked each other. And who's going to take the lead now?
Oh my god, everybody just overshot their corner, but it looks like Thiago Pereira is battling. Is it Duran Abisakera into turn 2 right here? Oh my goodness, look at the back! There's an absolute chaos at the back behind here. But let's go out to the front. I think Thiago Pereira's got the lead here. Dude, this is insane! It's so close here!
but behind there's more accidents here. There's Damien Arif, he was highlighting earlier. The rookie here has gone off the track. Oh, big one! Car up into the air. Oh, we don't know who's that one. That's Ismailil Ishak coming off the worst of the lot. And more cars further behind are actually spinning. So, welcome to ERGP, folks. It looks like nothing much has changed. As you can see, Ahan Gamage has taken out a driver right in front of him. But meanwhile, back up to the battle for the front here. Coming into the chicane. This is the big choke point that we were talking about. It could get quite dicey. And look at that. It's like a prime traffic jam in the middle of KL. And looks as though it is a absolute chock-a-blocks coming through the chicane. But luckily, though, no one was taken out there.
Oh, look at that. Wei Shun Wong in P2. He managed to, get past all the chaos. And right now, he's the one that's capitalized the most, I would say. I think we saw Thiago Pereira fighting at one point, but he's dropped all the way to 15th. So he must have been involved in a really, really big collision right there. But right now, Bidriawan is putting a little bit of pressure, although not too much pressure on Wei Shun Wong.
Indeed, and in fact, that Wei Shun Wong, it looks as though he's quite comfortable here. We should be looking more concerned about what's going to happen to Bajrawan because he's got Adriamit in his arrears, ready to take the slipstream as they come out now to the just over kilometer long straight here to start the next lap at Fuji Speedway as more and more cars further in the background peel their way through. Look at that, the snake of cars coming up to turn number 1 now. Fuji-san in the background as they come out to turn number 1. Does Adrian make a move? Oh no!
There's a little bit of a tap there. Randy Go tapped Adrian at the back there, but thankfully there's no collision there. Thankfully.
Indeed. Well, slight tap, but nothing too major that would have sent both of them spinning the wrong way as we're now going to go on board with Randy Go. That's his look from P6 to P1, so it's not that far away just yet. Just like Fuji-san on the horizon, you can almost feel like you can touch it because how close it is visually to him and the other cars as Faiz Badriawan now puts even more pressure onto the back of Wei Shin Wong. So can Nak hold on to this? So they come up to the chicane. This is prime for taking spot, and for Badriawan, of course, he wouldn't hesitate to try one, especially if it's a Malaysian right in front of him. As they come up to the chicane now. Oh, Nak goes for the deep dive, and oh no! Oh! Adri, I thought he was going to miss his breaking point there because behind him, Randy did.
I thought there was going to be a head-on collision there, but thankfully nothing of the sort has happened yet. But there's a tasty battle going on for third right now. Badria1, Adrian Ahmed, and Wei Shen Wong. Oh, wait, hold on. Who's that? There's a little bit of a lag there. I'm not sure if there was a collision or not. But yeah, so Wei Shen Wong, Badria1, and Adrian Ahmed still fighting for second over here, and it's getting a lot more closer. I think Adrian Ahmed here needs to get a better exit here. He definitely does, because Badria1 and Wei Shen Wong kind of messed up their launch there.
Yeah, but it looks as though the second part of the exit looked better for Nak and Badria1. But it is Badria1 who has the slipstream. Adri just cannot inch up to the back of him. Now let's look at Badria1. Where's he going to be? He's going to look on the inside.
That's smart. He's on the inside. He's not going to... I think there might be a little bit of a switch back here, or as we like to call it, a little bit of a lovey-dovey tap. As we go into turn 1 right now, Badria1 breaks a little bit too early, but he's got it. I think, but yeah, Badria1's definitely made the move there. But Wei Shen Wong is still very close, only 2/10 behind, and Adrian Ahmed looking to get a little cheeky bite of this battle here.
Yes, and well, it is Valentine's Day. If they don't have anybody to touch with, they can actually touch other cars.
Yeah, I can't believe you said that line.
I mean, they do not want to be too lovey-dovey on the track because, again, they want to take care of their cars. Otherwise, it is going to be quite a argy-bargy moment for everybody involved. And case in point there, Nak again just nearly chopped in front of Randy Go's car. In fact, is that Randy Go? No, in fact, it is Adri Ahmed. So Adri with the Petronas Spring Max colors. They come out the chicane now. This is the best box seat in the house. Randy following the line as Adri goes very deep. Does he make it stick? There goes side by side. 3 wide almost. But it looks as though Nak may just be able to hold off for the time being. But line favors Adri, and Adri goes up to P3.
Karuna Ratne right now is actually in the mix of this battle right here, ladies and gentlemen. He's kind of climbed back. You know, he's putting pressure on Randy Go. So yeah, this is a very, 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 very tasty battle going on. Oh, look at that.
And there is Randy to Karuna Ratne, who actually fell back into the clutches of the mid-top 10. And he's now up to P4. Up out of nowhere almost to get it.
Wow, that was crazy. A little bit of bumping grinding there, but Ranido Karunaratne is back up, and he looks to be chasing down Adrian Ahmed right now. Hold on, I say that Randy Go might make an overtake here on Karunaratne. Let's see if he makes the overtake here.
Yeah, let's see then. Karunaratne.
Oh!
Randy gets a big bosh from Wei Shen Wong, and now that was more than a love tap. That was almost personal to begin with. But luckily, though, great driving from both of them to hold it together as Randy now gets up in front as Jordan McNeil joins the party, and that's teammate to Randy Go. Oh, does he?
Somebody spun. Who's that?
I think that was Nak. That was Nak. He's actually spun around. Wei Shen Wong up in a very strong position, and he has to hold the brakes. He doesn't want to actually end up clouting everybody else. Oh, too late.
More carnage.
Everyone's got it, and Kevin Smarajiwa passes our cameras. He was actually in the comment section earlier, but Wei Shen Wong, he lost it completely while he was having a great battle between the Malaysians, but now it is all gone Malays for him. Oh,
that's such a shame. I know Wei Shen Wong was talking about being copper for so long, and he obviously wanted to move up to the leagues, you know, but having an incident like this definitely has put him, you know, on a lot more challenging path to the bigger leagues. Unfortunate for that. As we see right now, P7, Maybelline Malik is putting pressure on Jordan McNeil, part of the TGS Panteras, the Inti Sim Racing team, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So right now, P5, P6 both part of the Inti Sim Racing team, the TGS Panteras. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be, you know, a lot of pressure being put by Malik over here.
Yes, Melvin Malik, who's from East Malaysia as well, one of the contingents, part of, I think, Handshake Malaysia, or he might be of another affiliation. We'll have to check back again once the stats come up. But, further behind, I think Nukman is one of your drivers as well, Justin.
Ooh. Yeah, so Nukman, part of the Pepega X Red Pact eRacing team. You know, it's a recent collaboration that we've done. He's putting pressure on, is it Tiago Pereira? No, it's not. It is...
Ismail Ishak.
It was, he might make a... He looks to make a dive bomb into turn 1. He might make the move stick if he just keeps his line. Let's hope he doesn't outbrake himself. He seems to have gotten it right. Does he get the move done? He does! Ahmad Nukman gets the move done on Ishak over here. What That was a pretty solid move, pretty textbook move over there. But, you know, a move is a move. He got the move done.
Yes, and it can be quite tricky sometimes when you misjudge the braking and you take both drivers off. So we saw just now between Abhisekera and Karuna Ratne, two fellow Sri Lankans outbraked each other and they went wide. That definitely would have caused a bit of a concertina effect further behind. As in front of them is Damien Arif, who's actually made a good recovery up to P13. So at least he'll be in the points in this first race. But of course, case in point that the second race, we will actually swap bits a bit because, again, second race, less points on offer as Melvin Malik thinks of trying to get more points out of Jordan McNeil. He took a bite out of that rear of the Porsche.
Ooh, it's very close right now. They're literally bumper to bumper right now. I think he might make a mistake. Oh, but he loses a bit of control. Come on, Malik, keep it together, keep it together, keep it on the black stuff. You know, just keep it calm, keep it cool, yeah? So right now, he's obviously, you know, trying to put pressure on Jordan McNeil, but he's putting pressure on himself, unfortunately, there.
I mean, both are under pressure because they were really driving erratically coming through the chicane. And behind them, Joshua Alvin Molyono will be trying to fancy his chances as you're pointing to a battle for the behind,
yeah.
Justin.
I think I saw it was pretty close there, but that might be just the timing sheet gone wrong there.
But we'll wait and see until everything just sorts itself out as somebody nearly came off worse there was Kevin Samarajiwa, who's gone off completely. As there's that little battle you were talking about earlier. Three white coming across the line as Donny Sadewa is one of them. And remember, Donny was the one that actually got all his lap charts gone completely out of the window because he thought the race was over, but in fact there was 2 more laps to go.
Wait, which race was this?
Watkins Glen.
Oh no, yeah, Watkins Glen, that was... Oh!
And speaking of Donny, well, there goes his chances of finishing higher than the positions he was just now. He got taken out there by Lochana Wijayawarna from Sri Lanka as well.
That's an absolute torpedo move right there. I think he definitely misjudged his braking point. I think in real life that would have been a total loss for both cars there.
And well, unfortunately we were on board with Donny right there, but yeah, that was a lost cause at that from that point out as we were looking at Adri Amit. There was a comment coming in for Adri there, but yeah, the comments are coming through. They didn't know where the braking point was. Certainly, the targeted fixation, or rather, really bad case of targeted fixation. Looking at the car in front, that they forgot where they were in space.
Exactly. In the heat of the moment, you know, you're looking at too many things at once. You know, you're obviously focusing on the driver in front of you. You know, there's a lot of things to factor in. So, you know, obviously, you know, we would cut slack to some of these drivers, but, you know, it's the copper class. There's a lot of inexperienced drivers here, you know, so they're still learning things. It's the class to make, you know, mistakes here and there. It's a class to learn and, you know, obviously, you know, improve as a driver.
Indeed, but improve coming through some baptism of fire, shall we say, because a lot of those guys have come through to heck and back most of the time, especially with the amount of crashes that they have to endure just to move a class. As Melvin tries this time again to Jordan McNeil, but outbrakes himself. We did talk about it, that you can easily outbrake yourself through to number 1, and he's under pressure from Molyono, who's actually thinking of grabbing a freebie from there. Flashes his lights, and I think it's just to intimidate. Probably an incident earlier between the both of them, but Melvin Malik somehow hangs on to P8 for the time being.
Yeah, that move was never going to stick. You know, I would think that if you were to make that move stick, you need to brake a little bit earlier. But I think just by taking the normal braking point, he definitely misjudged his braking there. Ooh, he's gone a little bit slow there. He's getting very squirrely, Malik, over here. I think he's just, you know, making micro mistakes that are just adding up. And, you know, hopefully this doesn't lead to him, you know, making a huge mistake when it comes down to the final stages. As we are approaching the final stages of this race, is 3 minutes left. As you see, Joshua thought about a move, but he kind of avoided. But Malik goes wide over there. He misses his braking point. Oh, this is quite close there. This is quite close.
Switch back. That was actually a good bit of driving from Molyono trying to psych Melvin into a mistake, but Melvin was actually quite equal to it because when he cut back onto the track, he parked it right at the point where Molyono was trying to get by, and for the time being, both stay where they are. But it looks as though Molyono might want to try on the front straightaway with the amount of slipstream that he could get in this 1 kilometer straight to try and get up to P7.
Oh, all he needs is a good exit. Let's see if this exit was good enough for him, as Jordan McNeil is still ahead of them, but not... He's... Okay, no, never mind. He's far off. So the fight is between Malik and Molyono over here. Let's see if the slipstream definitely worked there. It's getting very close. He's taken the outside. Oh, bit of a bump there. Whoa, getting very too close for comfort there. Let's see, turn 1. Will they survive? Oh, a little bit close. They will survive. They have survived. Congratulations, Molyono. A place made. He's currently P10. Oh, sorry, P9.
Well, actually P8, even because again, we had to wait until everything goes.
Oh!
Melvin Malik actually tried to repay the favor almost immediately. But these guys probably will not be sending each other postcards today.
Definitely not. I don't think these guys will be very fond of each other. We might see a battle growing on as the season continues.
And
here.
Yep, and you went choir boy for a second up there for a second. F5 sharp, more like it.
A little bit of a PTSD moment here, ladies and gentlemen.
Anyway, now, who else do we see on the battling track? In fact, it is close between Randy Go. Oh, and he actually knocked Randy Karuna right now off, and that was a bump and run. Randy will feel very hard done by it there because it's another case of someone probably missing the breaking point. Randy didn't expect Karuna right now to just stop almost dead in his tracks, a bit further from the breaking point. Nonetheless, position swap, but I doubt that it will stay this way coming into the end of this race.
I'm spelling a protest. We caught that at the the pinnacle of that moment right there. Yeah, so once again, like I'm just gonna go back to my point. When you're in the moment, there are certain things that you will miss out, and mistakes will happen. But yeah, and we just so happened to catch one of those mistakes.
Indeed, and in fact, it was not just a mistake; it was an incident that really would incense somebody, just in case to just drive the point home. As back markers are probably coming into play right now because it looks as though that in fact. That is Randy Go right in front of Randy Karuna right now with Adri up in second. So Adri now has actually quietly and done the biz quite well here to start the season and open his account with a podium. Now we're on the final lap for sure here. We're waiting and seeing where Duran Abiskara is right now. There he is. He's coming through the 100R turn into the second sector. And now he's just only a few corners away from notching up win number 1 for the season, and definitely will be smiling knowing the fact that he also took pole for this race, and no doubt fastest lap would have been in his account too.
He's won it by an absolute margin as well. Obviously, I say that there's a few more corners left to go, but nearly 10 seconds from P2, which is Adri Ahmed, right? Is it Adri Ahmed?
Yeah,
he is in P2, yeah.
Yep. Adri second, but we're waiting for the timing screen to just sort itself out sometimes because you never know where the positions will be after something happening on the track. And remember, we had this before during the bronze class race as a car is stationary on the side where Adri was, where we thought the driver crossing the line was the winner, but it turned out to be that he was second because the control line was further behind. But anyway, without those doubts in place, the other thing that is not in doubt is Duran Abiskara coming across the line, and he will take victory, the first win of the entire season for ERGP Global Edition. And Abiskara comes across the line to take victory convincingly in front of Adri Ahmed, who will be absolutely delighted with a second place to start his account for the season and probably build on this as they come through, as more races would to come after this. As Randy Go comes across the line in third in front of Randy Karuna directly in fourth because both of them had that incident. We will put an asterisk on that particular result. McNeil in fifth, and we actually lost a couple of drivers who were actually in that top 10 just now. We'll get into that the bottom of that after this, with Mulyono in 6th, Melvin Malik in 7th, and in 8th is a driver with a very unique name, Ronaldo J. Alojado in that position. 9th is Mahalil Isha, and 10th is Damien Arif on his debut. So he will be on pole position for race number 2 when we flip the script after this, as more and more drivers come across there to finish it off. But that will be your pole sitter coming into that one. So, Justin, first race of the season, how was that?
Well, it's the normal ERGP chaos, especially at Fuji. I wasn't surprised that, we had such, intense battles first off, and obviously the chaos that occurred, as the race went on. I'm actually going to point out a little something. We had Badria one, who was actually in the podium contention. He fell all the way to 16th, so that must have made a mistake or something, because I remember he was comfortably in second there.
Yep, this is the one we were gonna. When I said just now, a few drivers that were in that top 10 position dropping out. So Badria was one of them, and Mikael Iqbal, who was actually running 10th and would have been on pole for that second race, slipped to P25. So the Savant has actually been caught out here, and well, looks like caught out big time because look at the state of that car on the front.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, you know. He looked to be doing really well there. But Damien Arif starting pole position. No pressure there, Damien.
Yes, it definitely will be quite the story, isn't it? If he could actually take this and win from the first round of the season in race number 2. Less points on offer compared to race number 1, but nonetheless, he will be over the moon knowing the fact that pole position will be the most desirable position here because he doesn't have to worry about the carnage behind. If it happens, he gets to focus on his own thing, just needs to complete the job.
Unless somebody outbreaks themselves into turn 1.
Oh, we saw already.
It happened a few times with the front runners actually. The P1, P2 completely missed their breaking point there.
Yep. Abby Sakara and Karuna, right, Nate? They will probably be putting notes on that one for race number 2, with the two of them finishing more or less close to they were when they were in qualifying. Abby Sakara, of course, winning that one comfortably by about 10.2 seconds, with Karuna, right, Nate, recovering to P4 after being swamped by the field at that point. But outside of that top 10, we have SM Fauzi in 11th, Hasro Taib 12th, Aiden Yi 13th, Thiago Pereira, who was actually in that top 5 in qualifying, he's dropped all the way to 14th, and a returning Dominic Chen from the Philippines in P15. So that's your point scorers all the way there. We will just run through because right now we're waiting for the session to take over to race number 2. Other drivers out of that position, we have Badrewan, who you pointed out just now, who is actually up there in the top 10, but then dropped out of it completely. Right, so there is the grid now ready to go this time. We are finally getting ready for race number 2, and for Damien Arif, he will be having some butterflies in his stomach. We are on board now with Donny Sadewa, who was taken out late in the first race by Lochana Wijaya Wardena. That was a bit unfortunate. We caught it just in the nick of time, but we were talking about what happened to Donny in Watkins Glen last season, where he kind of stuffed up the ending to his race. Meanwhile, other drivers that we're going to look through behind, Jordan McNeil, in fact, up in front even, Jordan McNeil in P6, he's in the middle of that pack. Damien Arif, he has the whole run up to turn 1 to look forward to, and can you imagine how he feels to have 30 plus cars right behind him, ready to go here, or as Cal Crotchlow, former MotoGP rider, would say, you're fighting against 20 plus other ex-Bully maniacs. Now then, lights are on the gantry, and when they go out, we'll be off for race number 2 in the copper class here at Fuji Speedway, and it looks as though it might just be a decent start there for Damien Arif, but he has to cut across here because a couple of the guys actually got off the line quite well compared to him. As they come out to turn 1 now, Damien Arif on the outside. Melvin Mane! And Damien gets spun around!
Oh no, that's just unfortunate. Asher Shakur spun out as well. Oh, that's just really unfortunate there. Yeah, just 5, almost, was it 5 wide into turn 1? That was insane.
And a few more people have been taken out here, but those other drivers who benefit. Very close, and I think for the behind, but a bit more and more collisions there. We were watching Ronaldo Alojado. Nukman, and he gets spun around here into the crowd. More and more drivers will come by, and Justin's actually grimacing right now. Does he get back into the track safely? Yes, he does.
Okay, yeah, that was a safe. I was worried that would be a little bit of an unsafe region. That would not look good in the protest chat.
Yes, indeed. And now we're gonna actually focus on what happened to our first race winner, because Duran Abisekera has actually stayed where he is more or less, but he's coming out to P8. Can he get it stopped in time? Badre one right outside. Both of them, and he makes it 2 for 1. That is a mean move there from Badre one. As well, look at that, who cut the track completely. Lochana Wijaya Wardena, who's outbraked himself again. He did outbrake himself, hit the back of Donny Sadewa. Luckily though, he didn't take anybody out this time.
Took an alternative line there. As we right now look at Jordan McNeil here.
Joker lap.
Alright, so we're looking at Jordan McNeil right now. He's battling, I think, is it Badria one? So yeah, Badria one just barges his way through into the final corner here. As you see a little snake, as you put it, a little snake of cars, going into completing their first lap here.
On the Year of the Snake.
What's that? Oh yeah, Year of the Snake, yes. That is right.
It makes sense. It takes it was that Ronaldo? Yes, it was Ronaldo Alojado, and we can probably tell why his parents named him after that. He tried to dribble his way through there, but luckily they kept it together because it was Ranido Karunaratne that he actually tangled with. And Jordan McNeil What a dive from McNeil!
What a move! But unfortunately, the move could not stick there. I thought that would have stuck, but no, it definitely did not.
Oh, that was quite a dive there, but he did make up a position. Now he's gonna lose it because there goes Karuna Ratne and Badre want to get back, and he knocks into the side of Ronaldo Alojado.
Good save.
Well, luckily he kept it together again as Abisekera quietly comes through and goes up to P8.
Yeah, so Duran Abisekera is just looking to pick down, just slowly pick away at these positions here. I don't think he'll be playing it too aggressive here. He shouldn't actually, because he's got a lot of points. He's culminated a lot of points with his pole position and first place finish in race 1. So all he needs to do,
Karuna Ratne
as I say that,
from Bajrawan. So Bajrawan actually repaid the favor for this by getting up to P6 now, P5 in front of Ranidu Karuna Ratne.
Yeah, so while Duran Abisekera is having a little bit of a quiet race here, just picking off, Ranidu Karuna Ratne is just having a really tough battle here with Jordan McNeil and Bajrawan.
Yes, and McNeil is the one that we saw just now at the start of this lap, barging his way through.
Ooh.
He gets barged out of the way that time around by Karuna Ratne, and that allows Abisekera to come through. There's Abisekera right now coming by.
Like I said, just slowly picking him off. Oh, there's a little bit of a spin back there. I think that was Kevin. Kevin's just had a little bit of a spun back there from the Sri Lankan. Oh, that's a bit of a shame.
Samara Jiwa, who's now having the best of runs, and one of the key players in the Salem Motorsports Club, another team from Sri Lanka. Looks as though he will chuck this first race into the bin. Now then, you can see the sea of cars coming by here.
Goodness.
And that was potential for an overtaking maneuver there. It was, because it's between the two Sri Lankans again, and it's Abisekera versus Karuna Ratne. They both outran each other. Oh, put it behind! Who is that spinning around? That might have been Tiago Pereira. No, it's not Pereira, wasn't it? I can't pick out the driver right now because our
It's Aiden Yee!
Yeah, our screens have gone completely haywire, but it is Aiden Yee who's actually hit the driver on the straightaway and spins into the infield barriers.
Actually, Aiden Yee is one of the guys I did campus tour with back in 2023. Nice to see him racing after all this time here.
Yeah, and returning back to where he was racing before at Fuji itself. So that was the last time he did. Oh no!
Whoa.
We have a spinner as well, Yufuza Akmal, who's another Indonesian newcomer, and Hasro Taib both hit each other. And a bit of afters too, so plenty of love.
Oh!
And was that Damien?
That's teammate tangle there. Ahmad Nukman and Damon Arif. Oh, that's not going to be good in the post-driver briefing there.
Oh no. Well, less we said about it, the better, isn't it?
Looks like I may have to have a word with them later.
Hey, it sounds like Total Whoop is in a different shell now.
I mean, the headset's going to stay alive. That's all I can say.
Anyway, moving on now back to the front here between drivers outside of the top 10. This is Tiago Pereira fighting Wei Shin Wong and Dominic Chen. Dominic, also another returning driver. We haven't seen him the last few seasons, and looks as though no love lost between themselves.
Oh, that's very squirrely there. They're getting a little bit impatient there. Keep it calm, boys. We don't want more protests coming in.
Yeah, and our stewards today will definitely be having their work cut out, as Mikael Iqbal is going to be coming through up to turn number 1 on the inside. And what a waste, wasn't it, for the young savants who had an opportunity to score some good points, and starting from pole. This time tries on Dominic Chen, runs a bit wide, and Chen goes for the switchback. But Mikael actually has the better run out of the corner and looks as though might have the advantage of the line on the inside and takes away the position. So he's up to P40, but sadly for him, second race is not going to offer points in this position. If he was in the first race, yes, but second race only up to the top 10.
I mean, he might have a chance here because of the battle up front. It was really close. Drivers are within 5 to 2 tenths of each other. So there might be an opportunity to play last-minute scraps here. As you see, Badriel 1 is putting pressure on Adrian Ahmed into Dunlop corner. He might have gotten the move done, a little bit of a dive there. He does get the move done, although very aggressively, but a move is a move, ladies and gentlemen. He is up to P3.
Indeed, and a big dive. Oh! Was that Moyono with spin? Half spin, manages to get it.
What a save!
What a save! He actually got it right in the right direction afterwards.
Look at
Adrian on the inside. So I think Faiz might have gotten spooked there by his fellow countryman, spinning right in front of his windshield. And they're going at it again, side by side through the final corner. Adrian will touch. Ismaili shot. In fact, he's gonna try to get all three of them.
Oh, this is getting very spicy here, ladies and gentlemen. On Valentine's Day, there's a lot of touching going on. There's a lot of contact going on. Yeah, but that was a little bit of a heart attack moment there, ladies and gentlemen. Bajawan is putting pressure on Molyono right now. There might be a little bit of a controversial moment into turn one. Let us see, let us witness if anything good were to happen, anything bad were to happen. Nope, very clean. Molyono's got the line. But Bajawan's got the run.
Oh!
Ooh, a little bit of contact. I think Bajawan may have the contact. He spun out! Bajawan! Oh no, wheels have come off there. Oh, that was the worst outcome that could have happened. It is better. Oh no! Unsafe rejoin. It is chaos. Absolute chaos. People are dancing like they're on the disco.
Wow, I don't know who was that just now that got taken out.
Oh, he's rage quitted.
Yep.
A little bit of a shame there.
Don't know who got contact there. As more and more drivers get involved. This is Ezra Collin, the back of Dori Sadewa. It's all kicking off here.
Yeah, my bad about that there, Haniranga. Just looking at what the comments there, Sauce commentary. There's a lot of chaos going on here, ladies and gentlemen. So apologies for some of the things I might have said. But anyways, we are on Ezra Collin right now. He is currently P12, 6 minutes left. Could make a move into the top 10 right as we see Wei Shen Wong and Ranidu having a little bit of a pressure moment. I think Wei Shen Wong just trying to put pressure into him, trying to get Ranidu to make a mistake here.
Yep, as Amir Naim has actually a good suggestion for some of those guys that were in collision. If you want to go faster, press all F4.
Yep, indeed. Yep, you just see a black screen. That's just about as fast as you go. Oh, Ranidu makes a little bit of mistake there. Or did he do that line just to get a better exit? Who knows? Right now, Wei Shen Wong has a little bit of a slipstream moment. So we might see a potential move into turn one. Oh, he's a little bit weaving there. Yeah, he's definitely got a huge slipstream there. I think Wei Shen's got the move almost done and dusted there. It's getting very close. Yep, he's got the move. Made the move stick, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. That was a textbook maneuver by using a bit of slipstream, but Ranidu goes up! Oh, there he goes! Ranidu just missed it, and luckily there was nobody in front of him, otherwise it would have been a repeat of what happened to Lachana Wijaya Wardana and Dori Sadewa when they happened to go to turn one together.
Yeah, thankfully nothing happened there. Let's look at some other battles. Yeah, are there any other battles on a check? Doesn't seem to be much.
Yeah, there it is. In fact, Abisakara is involved in this one with Ismail Isha in the back of both of them here. It is a battle for P2 in essence because Adrian is not that far away in front.
Ooh, Duran Abisakara is up to P4. He made an absolutely fantastic climb there. You see a little bit of a squirrely moment there from Joshua. As we see, Ismail is putting a little bit of pressure on Duran Abisakara. Right now, there's a train carrying from P2 to P4 right now. There is a lot of potential overtakes here, a lot of potential mistakes, a lot of controversy.
Yep. All the while then, up in front is a driver that we haven't seen much, but would no doubt be happy to be up in front. Here's Melvin Malik for the Handshake Malaysia team. He's come out the final corner here now. He still has about 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. Blaze it. Someone said, we need more smoke. Well, we need to blaze it then.
Yep. As we say that there might be, I think one of the drivers behind Adrian Ahmed had a little bit of a slow exit there. So Joshua is putting pressure. He's in the slipstream. Once again, we're going to see an overtake into turn one. Let's see what happens here, ladies and gentlemen. Let us witness.
He goes onto the inside. Adri didn't put up much of a defense because he's banking on Molyono to make a mistake.
Oh, what a move by Duran. Absolute dive bomb, but he made the move stick, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, so many drivers are tempting fate by slipping into the inside very deep into turn number one. And what happened to Mexico? He's going 88 miles per hour and he is out of here.
Oh, we've seen that move happen twice now in race 1 and we've seen it now in race 2. So yeah, Duran Abisakara I think has disconnected. Oh, that's a shame though, because he was having such a good run into P4 even.
Yeah, he hit 88 and unfortunately he's out back to the future.
Oh, that's a shame. I think he would have definitely loved to be finishing in the top 3 now, but never mind that.
But if it's up for grabs now, that means that Adrian Ahmed will actually take the lead of the championship.
Ooh, double podium, yeah.
Well, yeah, because he's second in the first race. He is trying to hold on to second for this one. We'll wait and see if that is to happen. As Ismail Isha is watching brief now in P4, outside of the podium positions, trying to watch what happens between Joshua Avemayono and the Adriamid. Adri, though, has been quite sterling with his defense. He doesn't have to do much, but when he does, he puts a bit of pressure to the guy chasing that he actually goes and makes a mistake. And in case in point, Mulyono was actually there just now to take position, but lost it when Adri just switched back at him, as a lot of drivers are actually disappointed. In fact, the Sri Lankans are very saddened by the fact that Abhi Sakara has actually gone off due to internet in Sri Lanka not being as stable as they would have liked. So unfortunately for him, he's out of this one, but no doubt that with the points that he earned in that first race, he will still be somewhat leading the championship. We're waiting to see how Adri will fare, as he is now defending for second. Here comes Mulyono onto the inside. Can he get it stick this time? Yes, he does, but Adri banks on the outside but goes wide. So Mulyono goes up to second now, but Adri will no doubt be trying to fight back for what he's worth.
Yeah, I think actually Joshua made that move twice and he's made both times stick. But Adriamid's got a better exit here. They will be side by side. Let's hope Joshua doesn't push him wide there. He does not. Has to brake a little bit just to get the car rotated. Gets the line. Kind of pretty good defending there. But Adriamid's got the move. Has the later brakes and has the position.
And now Ismail Hisha actually wants to have a piece of that one, because after this will be the final lap of this race, and they have nothing left on the table here, but they just go full pelt and try to get a position. Now Adri goes very narrow, try to defend. Mulyono goes very deep. Oh, that was very close. He could have actually got to the front of Isha, but they both kept their noses clean. Now they're gonna do it for one more lap.
Yeah, I think honestly, if I was Ishak right now, I would just play calm, because I know that Joshua will want to try fight for that second. And, you know, if it comes down to it, there might be a little bit of, you know, unfortunate circumstances there when it comes down to it. So if I was Ishak, I would just play it safe. But yeah, let's see what happens here.
Yep, as they now go onto the main straight here for the final time. We will look further behind, because it looks as though Wei Shin Wong is actually in a battle with Ronaldo Alojado for P6. And behind him is Dominic Cheng, so he's in the Filipino sandwich here, which is something that he doesn't want, because he will be hoping that he doesn't get just eased out of the way when positions come to play. As now we're on the final lap, waiting for Melvin Malik to just break that timing beam, and on his way to a very popular win, because I think the handshake guys will definitely be celebrating this. As Wei Shen goes on the inside, Nat gets it, but Ronaldo
switchback
with a switchback.
Yep, so Ronaldo still has the line. He has the line though. I think Wei Shen Wong may have just overcooked it just a tiny bit. But here's a really risky corner. I think Wei Shen... Oh! That was close! I kind of called it that, but Dominic Chen has capitalized on that mistake by Wei Shen Wong. And right now he's just trying to get that P8 position down.
Well, he gets it around the outside, swings it by, and makes most of the mistake that Nak made, but Nak goes back at him, and really, they were just having a knack of each other. Now then, we go back to Melvin Malik up in front with one sector left to go here, and a couple of drivers further behind probably still battling. In fact, Adri has actually gotten away, so Mulyono is now under pressure from Isha. So, Ismail Isha, can he make it a podium for himself as well? This will be his first time ever, with Randy going out behind him. So Randy will be trying to actually sneak in the podium as they come around.
Oh, close, very close. Oh.
Very, very close there. But we're going to have to go back to Melvin Malik, who will be coming across the line here and take his first ever win in ERGP. We look for the behind. There's that battle for third. But Melvin Malik for Handshake Motorsport will take the win at Fuji Speedway, and it'll be quite a popular victory. But leading the championship after this will no doubt be Adriamid. The young Malaysian will be picking up the pieces where other drivers have dropped them all of the way. Third place, Mulyono just about hangs on to it in front of Ismail Elisha. So he's denied a podium, with Randy going fifth, and the rest of the field come by Ronaldo Alojado in sixth, Wei Shin Wong seventh, Dominic Chen eighth, and there's another close one between McNeil and Pereira by just a tenth of a second across the line, and Ranito Karanatne unfortunately just misses out on points in P11. So that is the first round of the season for Copper Class. Two really, really crazy races that we saw, but ultimately the victor and the spoils up in front here goes to Melvin Malik, who kept his nose clean all the way.
Yeah, that was a very clean race on Malik's, and all he needed to do was just, keep it on the track, keep it on the black stuff. But, the battles behind on race 2, that was some pretty intense battles, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely. And again, we were robbed of potentially an even crazier battle because of Duran Abisekera
Yeah.
disconnected from the race. And we saw just now that he was going a bit narrow, picking up speed. That definitely doesn't look normal, doesn't it? He hit 88 miles per hour, went back to the future.
Teleported into a completely different dimension. No connection dimension.
Unfortunately, yeah. And for those guys who were supporting the Sri Lankans here, it looks as though that was a case of internet going kaput at the worst possible time. But for Abisekera, he will take some positive away. He was the fastest man in qualifying. No doubt, fastest man in the first race. And with that win, has actually catapulted him to an early lead. But we're not sure whether or not he kept that because of Adri's consistent results, finishing second in both races to actually put himself into a good spot after the end of the first round. But on board with Malin Malik, and this is what we want to see from a lot of drivers. Just coast in on the in lap. Don't have to crash out the first corner. Don't whack out anybody out of revenge. Just come back in the pit lane normally until the server resets itself. But that's the end of the first race. Justin, I think you might want to get ready for the gold and silver class. Yes, it's a bit later, but you definitely want to get ready soon.
Yeah, definitely need some practice there. But ladies and gentlemen, that was the copper class. First ever race of GE17. Oh, that was an insane battle. There are 3 rounds left. I think Duran Abisekera definitely has a chance to, climb back up if he is not leading. But Adrian Amin might be looking to secure what could have been his first championship battle, I think back in GE14. He was in the championship contention at one point, so he might be looking to revenge that.
He might want to be more consistent because he hasn't had the best of championship run-ins, but it's only the first round, early days. We still have drop points, format changes that we will talk in future rounds, and of course, anything is to happen. We know that this league is very unpredictable in any class. So,
Indeed.
Now, thanks to our sponsors, Xpark, Royal Selangor, and of course, Axel being the organizers here, we will take a short break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back here for the bronze class right after this.
Pewter is about possibilities. It is an idea made real. Crafted with precision. It can make tradition timeless. Pewter evolves. When allowed to be free, it can captivate you. computer is our legacy, and we're keeping the legacy alive. Royal Selangor, since 1885.
Hello and welcome back to eRacing GP Global Edition 17. My name is Amir Amazing. Alongside me is a returning familiar face for those who have followed the early years of Global Edition, and of course in Endurance Edition because of the driver, Afiq42 Farid. Welcome back, Afiq. It looks as though you've never been away. You look very excited, more so than usual.
It's been 84 years.
Yes, it's been a while since.
Sorry, it's been 2 years
Yeah.
actually. So
and in between that time, we also had a couple of more victims to the Titanic sub.
quite yeah, but
Anyway.
you know, it's nice to be back in ERGP. It's nice to be back. Actually, I've not been away. I've been still waiting for ERGP and just doing double duty for tonight. But yeah, it's been a while since I've been on commentary. I think last time I did commentary was 2023. So, you know, excited for the race, excited for what's going to happen, and actually I'm excited to do commentary again because I might say words that that is friendly, family friendly, but you know, I excite viewers in my own way. You know what I mean, Emo? Like the good old days.
Well, more or less, but you know, some of those times we actually had some very exciting moments. So the pictures speak for themselves. We just only provide the voice behind it. But now, to set the scene, we'll do a bit of housekeeping for what it will look like coming into this season. And to talk about dramatic races, the bronze class last season saw Tehan Iranga clinch the title in the very final round. Though his final points tally looks big, it doesn't really tell the full story what actually happened. He really had to make qualifying count in that last race because he had a poor first lap, but if he didn't, he would have let his championship win slip through the fingers and give it to Shakir Fikri. But Iranga kept his powder dry and won it by about 27 points ahead of Shakir Fikri. Kirin, who actually gave a great fight, but just couldn't sustain it towards the end. With Justin Roldev, likewise, will be saying the same thing. He'll be hoping for better because now all three of them will be in the silver class after this, including Aziz Shami Mokhtar, who more or less earned his stripes to go up there. And so is Yongjan. In fact, that top six really are qualified to go up a class. But Afiq, you've been watching from the sidelines. What's your assessment of all of these guys?
Honest assessment, I mean, the driving is getting better from every individual. It's just that it's bronze class. I mean, how many times have I said this before in previous editions that, you know, bronze class is one of those classes that you actually, you know, have to keep an eye on because it's the only class that can actually entertain you. As we're about to jump into the qualifying practice actually, and we are, so not many cars for now. Adam Hakim there, and cars are actually jumping onto the grid. So we've got Fardi Alam Shah, we've got Aska, Alfico Aska, yeah, quite a few names. So sorry, gentlemen, for the rustiness in commentary for tonight.
Yeah,
but
well,
should be okay.
Well, you're not rusty in your riding, that's for sure. You've been doing a lot of riding up in Genting, so don't ride irresponsibly, of course. Has to be done the old-fashioned way and done rightly. But
With full gear.
yeah, with full gear.
Yeah.
So he's not doing any sort of kampung-style riding.
Yeah, so quite a number of cars, GT3 cars, one of the best sports cars in the world, sports cars racing in the world, GT4, GT2, GT1, the old GT1, the old GT2 that raced in Le Mans. But to me, GT3 is what the pinnacle of sports car championship is supposed to be. You know, manufacturers racing in different championship. Doesn't matter which continent. Can be Australia, can be Asia, can be Europe, can be America. Heck, even Africa had one GT3 championship in the previous years, but you know it stopped because you know not much monetization, not much funding to continue.
Yeah, we will definitely not go into why the reason that we nearly even had a return of A1GP, but African form is called Afric, so for obvious reasons it never happened. Anyway, what's happening right now on track is the fact that qualifying session for the first time this season for bronze has gotten underway, and almost immediately you can see the drivers trying to jostle for position. Case in point, Elliot Sturenagel, the American kid from Minnesota, who's lucky enough to be living in the Palisades, is actually up in front here, coming to turn number 1, and he's starting the first laps of the season here in bronze. Oh! Fari Alamshah nearly whacks into the back of him.
Okay, Fari, a bit early for a dive bomb there, but not sure what he's doing. I mean, let's go on board back to Elliot because, I mean, we haven't had an onboard with the GT3 in Fuji for a while now, haven't we?
Yep, and I think you can take it away because you're quite experienced with this track too, right?
I wouldn't go as far as saying experience, but this is one of the tracks in Japan that I would say is the three holy trinities: Fuji, Okayama, and Suzuka. You can't also forget Sugo, but then Sugo is much more suited for Super GT testing and also regional road racing championships for motorbikes. So Fuji is the all-in-one. It's hosted races in WEG, it's hosted races in GT World Challenge Asia. It also hosted Formula 1 back in 2007-2008. I remember that 2007 race where Massa was fighting with Kubica for P6, wasn't it?
Yeah, Kubica.
Yeah, Kubica, yeah. So like for P6, like in the rain, in pouring torrential rain, and they were pushing each other off track, but they were very respectful. So Elliot here approaching the final corner onto the start finish straight. It's a very long straight, and it's what, 1.5 kilometers?
1.075 if I'm not mistaken.
Quite long.
Getting the measurements out, I did say 6.7 earlier, but whatever it is, it's just a whisker above 1 kilometer. And of course, it's a circuit that also hosted championship fights, no doubt. 1976 comes to mind with Hunt and Lauda, but 77 Lauda won the championship, but he didn't even appear this race because he thought, no need to just compete, he can just go for it elsewhere. As Elliot Stowenagel has actually laid the gauntlet here, 37.7. So the BCRC cars are much faster compared to they were last time, because as we said at the top of the show, this is a brand new version of the GT3 class that we saw from last season. They're about 4 seconds faster according to Justin, so we'll see about that. We'll see how that will go as the season progresses and how the racing is still pretty much about the same, because again, no BOP needed, the cars are the same underneath, just a difference in drivetrains that causes it to be slightly different in the way they handle. But coming to the action, a few drivers have crossed the line and to challenge Stewanegel's time, but Neeraj Yeshan is the closest right now, half a second here, and driving for the same Sim Racing Lanka team that dramatically won last season with Tianaranga.
Yep, there you go. Okay, so it's basically a Mercedes domination, 1, 2, 3, front 3 lockout, podium lockout in qualifying actually. Aman Abdullah here in P3, the sole Malaysian in a sea of other Asians and an American leading the pack. But like I said before, we have Ethan Lau here, 37.6, so he pipped his teammate Elliot by 1.5 tenths of a second.
Indeed, and that's actually setting the gauntlet here as he's wearing the very same jersey that he wore last year that rose him to prominence because of his sim racing performance. He was probably not supposed to even be there because he's open to college drivers, but he proved that he could still be kicking it among the best, even though he is only 14 that time. But the Papega Racing driver, driving with number 420, Blaze it. And with a livery that's actually
Elliot went back to pole actually.
Oh, nice. His teammate in the same livery, Mercedes, which is made by one of our community members, Alpha Whiskey, Demas Adiansha, who's made a brilliant livery for both the Papega Racing Team and Red Pack Asia, because it is a combination. Last season, they were pretty much working together to try and get points for the championship. Now they've actually consummated the marriage and decided to make it official that they're collaborating.
I'll tell you one thing, Emo. Papega is actually looking really strong here in the first qualifying of the season in the bronze category. I mean, Zaria Adam is in P4. It's not that far off. It's only like 500s behind Julia Gonzalez. So, if Adam can, string a very good lap, then can be a qualifying lockout for Papega for the first time ever. I think Justin would be like, geeky like the young boy he is.
Well, you're not so much older yourself, are you? Because at one point, we were surprised to find out who his real age is, despite him looking more or less.
I thought he was older than me.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, that's for the guys in the comments to decide to actually find out how old he is. But for the time being, let's see if Papega can make it 1, 2, 3 across the line. Comes Zarif Adam, and it looks as though nope, not yet. But Julian Gonzalez can actually live to fight another day, because here he is, 5 tenths of a second behind Elliot Stonehill. So Elliot coming out of the box fighting here and fighting fire better than the Palisades people.
Yep, Whelan car here. Whelan livery car. I mean, fits the Corvette if I'm being honest with you. Still a
Yeah.
GM car at the end of the day.
Well, Caddy also runs the livery.
Yeah,
as well.
Caddy also runs the livery for IMSA.
Oh, Youngjan for the combination team has actually come up to P3. So it is a 1-2-3 for the Papega X Red Pack Asia team.
I think yeah. Oh, Enzo Isan pipped Yongjan for P3. So it's kicking off here, ladies and gentlemen. 2.5 minutes to go before. Oh, Enzo almost diving. I thought he didn't make for the corner.
Oh, and never mind.
Never mind.
And Enzo Isan has been taken out, but he has to escape back to pit lane so that he could continue. Yes, he does. As you
Alright.
can see a driver dropping in.
We have a camera director has to stay in this camera because we need to see where Enzo is. Like, is he making any setup adjustments? And there you go. Enzo is back off onto the track. So 2 minutes to go. I think he's able to squeeze in one more lap, one more flying lap before to set his time for qualifying.
Yep. And you can see some of the other drivers involved in the Red Pack Asia. Oh, look at that. There's someone spinning right in front of Adam Hakim. Manages to save it. It is a Hazik there, but I'm not sure which one. It's Hazik Aslan.
Aslan.
So no relation between yours truly and the Aslan brothers. Of course, it just happens to be a very generic name in Malaysia.
Well, the Aslan brothers has, the Aslan brothers names always starts with an N, right?
Well, yes, but
Yeah.
this one's a H. But either way, that is Hazik not having the best of moments as he is still trying to get out of the way of Adam Hakim, who is another driver part of that Red Pack Papega Pact, is coming through now to the chicane. He has one more lap after this to improve his time. And likewise, Nirosh Yashan as well for Sim Racing Lanka. He's trying to do what Tehani Ranga did in the previous season by being an absolute demon in qualifying.
I tell you, everybody's improving. The top 9 actually is improving their qualifying, but it's not enough. Gap between Elliot and the guy in 10th is 0.8 of a second.
Yep, and that driver in 10th happens to be another one of the Papega Red Pack teams. It is Malik Fakrul.
They've got quite a lot of presence here in bronze category, Red Pack and Papega. I'll be surprised if they don't clinch the title as Dave Chen, his best drifting impression.
Look at that! Keiichi Tsuchiya will be definitely proud of that one. I don't know if that's lag or that was intentional, but that was the most
Looked intentional because he's driving normally now.
Yeah, that was a beautiful
That
drift.
was a beautiful drift.
Along that corner.
Fits the country that we're racing in.
Yep, and Dave Chen also, well, points for style, unfortunately would not help him in his quest for qualifying any better. He is still 31st and he is out of here and back in here.
Oh, it's lagging.
Yeah, that might have been a lag as well, the way that he slid around, but nonetheless, that gave us quite a show. As meanwhile, speaking of a show here, Malik, yeah, Elliot is only about a 800th of a second in front of Ethan with Enzo Ison in P3, so that is going to be a battle of the young guns. Those guys are in their teen years, and no doubt will be trying to put some of the more established veterans in this class to the sword, as a couple of drivers stopped right by the side of the track here. We're waiting to see whether or not, in fact, no, Malik's not going to improve his time. Oh! Ethan, though, will not be able to because Fari Alam Shah has, in fact, taken out another driver.
Oh well. It's going to be a very long night for the stewards.
It's, yep, no doubt you'll be talking based on experience.
Yep.
But we're on board with the kid of the hour. We only can say kid because when you say man, they're not even a driver yet.
I wouldn't go as far as calling them man. I don't think they qualify as a man yet. You know what I mean?
Well, the kid of the hour right now, Elliot Stevenagel, is the man on fire. Yeah, I said man just now.
Yeah, kid on
Burning
fire.
Man. Yeah, kid on fire.
Kid on fire sounds
with
good.
a 37.4 fastest in qualifying, ahead of Ethan Lowe, with Enzo Ison in 3rd place. In fact, Ison, we're waiting to see whether or not he's going to be improving his time because here he is onto the start-finish straight. This is going to be a long run up to the line, but if he could upset the uppercut completely, that will unfortunately wipe the smile off Elliot Stumenego's face, but he doesn't get to do that. He stays 3rd with Yongjan in 4th and Zarif Adam in 5th.
Oh no, he's qualifying pole.
Oh, Enzo Ison's done it! He has wiped the smile away from the face of Elliot Stoenagel. We thought just now because the time didn't actually change, but he has. Oh, wow. The driver who qualified for GT Cup Asia last year has definitely proven that his experience in Fuji has served him well despite being in another game.
Enzo, beware, you've got 4 Papega cars right behind your gearbox. You've got Elliot, you've got Ethan, you've got Yongjian, and you've got Zarif Adam. It's gonna be a fun night, Emo. But what a lap from Enzo. 37 to 2.5 tenths faster than Elliot. Where did that came from?
Oh, where did I come from? Indeed, I have no idea how he pulled that one out of the box. But regardless of that, Enzo Isan with the first 5 points of the season, and he has plenty of supporters in the chat there. Really happy to see him go by. But case in point here, someone said Mercedes still dominating, top 7 of Mercedes. The best of the rest being Judiel Nino Gonzalez, younger brother of
In the Corvette.
Francis Angelo Gonzalez. Yes, in the Vet as well, the Whelan Vet. Although this is the Callaway Corvette, as you can see that it's not the Corvette or Chevrolet logo.
It's
So-
still a Corvette.
Yes, but in terms of manufacturer affiliation,
Yeah,
it's Callaway. But Corvette in P8. 9th is Jeremy Yao in the funny livery BMW. He put a smiling face,
Emoji, yeah.
a laughing emoji last season, so he was probably thinking of cute and funny. And 10th is Mohammed Hakimi. So,
In the GTR, in the only GTR in the grid.
and no doubt that the GTR on the grid, and we see our producers fist bumping because they are big fans of the GTR. But Hakimi also another returning driver. We haven't seen him the last few seasons, and no doubt we'll be paying attention to him on the straight because he has that kind of weird habit of tucking in while on the straight, because it's a go-kart habit. Yes, go-kart drivers do that to actually get a slipstream, but doing it in sim probably was the best way to just get a bit of slipstream, even psychologically, to the driver up in front. Now then, we're waiting for qualifying to take over. So let's see some of the other drivers who actually have qualified but not made the grid up in front.
Oh, Fari Alam Shah, 48.6. My guy.
Ha! Yes, absolutely sad to see.
Quite a few as well, yeah. So, like, it's basically a Mercedes track, if you ask me. Would any other manufacturer actually, come up with a fight against these Mercedes cars?
We'll wait and see.
Well, we'll wait and see. But I put my money on the GTR on the straight, the long straight that Fuji has.
Yep, and one of them is Muhammad Hakimi in that car. Let's see how that would play out, because again, the cars are much faster compared to last season, despite it being from the same mod.
Yep, like the national anthem for Singapore, Majulah Singapura, Majulah Hakimi with the GTR.
Indeed. And behind, this is Fari Alam Shah's view of the grid. 32 cars right in front of him to pass by. But Ethan Lowe and the rest of the field up in front here with Enzo Isan and Elliot Stoenagel will be fighting it for the first win of the season. Oh no! Isan jumped the start! He has jumped the start, would you believe it? He has actually gone through before the lights go away, and Isan rightfully gets out of the way as well. He doesn't want to cause any more mayhem, but Enzo Isan has thrown what was a brilliant qualifying run, and now it's a Papega Red Pack 1, 2, 3 into turn number 1 with Elliot Stoenagel.
Oh, wait,
and
scratches there as well, Emo. A bit early now. Welcome to bronze, everybody. Look at the scratches for turn 1.
And Hakimi, the guy we were tipping to do the business, has actually gone off as well. Oh, wow. And I did see a Cadillac just now. There was a Cadillac in our mix. In fact, there is.
Oh, that's our NSX as well there.
Yep, NSX. And there is that Cadillac CTS VR coming through. Who's that Honda just now? There was a couple of drivers further behind. Oh, wow. And the door's open! There's a door open in one of the cars!
Oh, no!
Oh! Razi says, I don't know how you did that! I don't believe that even the door is possible to be open in this game.
Is that possible? I've never
I'm not
seen
sure.
that before, Emo.
Wow! Look at that!
Okay, that's a driving hazard if there's one. I think if I was a steward, I'll tell them to
Orange
fit
zip
it. Yeah, just use a duct tape and close the door. Wouldn't be that.
Oh, no.
I actually collected.
His teammate, and there goes someone else now. Fall. Afi Van Afi spins into the crowd. It's all kicking off.
Yep, it's all kicking off here, Jinx. Emo, I said that before.
No, I said it first. I said it first on that one. Oh no! There goes the Cadillac. It's gone off. Oh no! Everything is all kicking off.
The GTR is being pushed off the track as well, and that's another Merc off the track. My goodness, Bronze, you have delivered once again in terms of the chaos. And Razi Aziz is driving with his driver's side door open. You have to close it, boy. But look at the slipstream there. Look, slipstream train here going on. As we move back to the front, Niraj Yashan here, Jeremy Yao, the only BMW. So basically, it's a BMW in what, 7th? And then it's a Merc 1, 2, 3?
Yep, but here comes the Merc Armada between them. This is battle between the German marks, Nirosh, and that looks as though it was one of the red pack cars coming through. Gets the position away. In fact, that is Adam Hakim. So Jeremy Yao got marked for position there for a second. Here he comes trying to actually get back at him.
Yep, and yeah, so top 4 is basically Pepega domination, Pepega red pack domination. I don't think we'll have to worry about that for now. But as we can see, Jeremy Yao is being followed closely here by eRacing, and what a calamity! It has been such drama. It's only been 1 lap in. Don't read and drive. All right, then, Jeremy.
Yes.
What else do you have in store for the next round?
Whoa! In fact, speaking of something in store, there was a big moment there between one of the red pack cars and Arman Abdullah. So Arman got mugged there by Malik Fakrul, and now Zarif Adam is ready to pick up the pieces too.
Yeah, we have to stay on board this Pepega sandwich because Malik Fakrul and Zarif Adam is racing from the center, so they can communicate with each other and be like, oh, Zarif, please close the gap with Arman. No, Malik, you have to close the gap. But that's the beauty of it. It's teamwork. When you're in a team, the advantage to it is that you can help your teammate with trying to get the position.
Yep. But the disadvantage is you'll be cannibalizing points off each other, and that will hurt in the team standings. Yes, it's an advantage to have drivers in your team in every category, but if there's multiple drivers in one class, you will steal points away from each other, and that has been a detriment to some teams. So if we have a McLaren spinning for the behind, I have no doubts to think that it might have been Fari Alam Shah again. But right now, because the positions are busy, it tried to swap itself out. We will wait and see who will be on pole position for race number 2, because if it's a guess of what happened just now in this first race, it will be just as chaotic.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Oh, Arman Abdullah here getting closer to Malik Fakrul into the left-hander hairpin. Malik Fakrul diving down the inside, and Arman's trying to get closer, can't get closer, but will he make a move? Will he make the run down into the right-left? What's the chicane called, Amo?
Dunlop chicane.
Yeah, Dunlop chicane. There we go, but there's no Dunlop. Oh, never mind, there's Dunlop there.
Well, yes. There's a visual cue to really smack you in the face.
Exactly, and Arman is trying everything he's got in his arsenal to overtake Malik. But you know what, like what I've told you early on, like a lap ago, Malik is basically trying to let Zarif get closer to Arman, so that when Zarif actually overtakes Arman, Malik can actually drive off into the distance and then catch up with Nirosh, who's right ahead.
Yep, and the diversity of the mix that we have in the rest of the field, apart from that top 10, which is all German. In fact,
the
no!
car speeding up.
Who was that?
No idea. It's the car in 33rd. It's not Lokman Hakim though. I tell you that.
We're trying to find the driver there. Yeah, it is someone out of that range, but whatever it is, hopefully they will get out of the way and not cause any drama. In fact, it was
Not sure. Yeah, let's go back to Arman Abdullah, Hemo.
Yeah, let's see then. Where is he gonna be? He's on the outside.
Right on the outside. Malik, will he dive down the inside?
Oh, he's outrun himself!
There.
Yeah, he does. So that little tactic that you said about the both of them trying to work together to get by, well, Arman Abdullah has actually mugged the both of them.
Well, Malik could have done better. I mean, he could have broke a little bit later. He broke too late for that corner, and basically he yeeted himself out of the corner and allowed Arman Abdullah to overtake for P11?
P8, and before we actually get back, yeah, P8, there we go. Or P7, whatever it is right now. In front of them, Nirosh Yeshan actually ran a bit wide as well while he was attacking Jeremy Yao. We're going to go into that particular battle, and as he said, don't read and drive. Well, I don't think Nirosh has enough time to look at that rear bumper because he wants to find a way past that BMW to get much needed points in this first round of the season. And in fact, after what Tehan Iranga did in this class, in this very same livery and car, he will probably try to just play by this time and strike when he really needs to, because Nirosh will just want to get some points in his early doors.
Nirosh, I can't see what Jeremy wrote on the back of his car. Get closer, please.
If it's not any more obvious right now, isn't it?
Yeah, 8.5 minutes to go. It's a Pepega 1, 2, 3, 4 with Jeremy Yao splitting the field of the sea of Mercedes E3s here.
Oh, now this is going to be a bit of a touchy moment between teammates. This is Youngjan against Elliot Stewenagel.
This is basically right pack versus Pepega at this point. It's not even a collaboration.
Oh, yeah, definitely, because you can see that Youngjan has the redder of the two cars, while the Pepega boys are running in all purple. So it's a nice little differentiator between the two cars. So it is a combination team, but regardless of that, when it comes to the punch and a victory is on the line, maybe Team Modus is not going to be the way to go.
I can say the same for Sebastian Vettel when he drove for Toro Rosso back in 2008. He was fighting with Mark Webber and David Coulthard front, right and center every weekend.
Yeah, and he even whacked Mark Webber at this very circuit in 2007. Which
In the wet.
Yeah.
And Mark Webber was actually having a stomach ache.
yeah, he was vomiting.
He
in
was
his helmet.
vomiting. It was food poisoning, if I'm not mistaken.
It was, yes. And not the only time that he actually felt like his head was high in the clouds, looking at 99 Le Mans, of course.
Oh yeah, for sure. Flipped the Mercedes, yeeted it into the woods.
Yep, and that is the CLR, folks, not the CLR GTR as most copy pasta. on
CLK GTR.
No, it says CLR GTR.
No, CLK.
The CLK GTR.
Yeah.
Which is not correct.
Yeah, exactly. Which is, yeah, it's copy pasta. What do you expect?
I mean-
It's social media.
I mean, I remember it was called CLR GTR, which is also not correct at all because, again, copy pasta on TikTok. What do you expect?
Yep. Okay. 8/10 gap is what's separating between these three. I don't think they'll fight for position because gap between them and Adam Hakim is actually 2.5 seconds, 3.3 total from him and Elliot. So by right, nothing will happen.
Oh.
We have to stay on board with Ethan though because we
Yeah.
want to see whether Ethan will make
Oh.
a move down the inside of Ng Yeojan, but I don't think that's possible.
Oh,
Yeojan
Young
is-
Jan makes a mistake.
Yeah, broke later there, so yeah, I guess it's all part of the plan. Maybe it's this, maybe it is, maybe it's not. Maybe you're gonna shoot each other in the foot. We have
Well,
to wait and see.
And of course, if you can see his mouth moving, that means that he's talking to the drivers as further behind. That's two more Papega guys fighting, and they're still going at it. In fact, Malik Fakrul is still stuck behind Amr Abdullah, and he actually got a bit of a whack there from Zarif Adam. Arman putting up a stout defense here to just annoy the two Red Pack Papega guys, but no doubt Malik will try his best to pry the door open. It was a mistake earlier that he'll bring it up.
Oh.
And nearly a mistake there, slight contact. And through all of all that, Alfiko Aska in the Audi is right behind all three of them.
This is reminding me of Maro Angle versus Picariello last year for GT World Asia, Mercedes and Porsche, and they were fighting for 10th position as well. Oh, Malik Fakrul here dived down the sorry, Adam tried to dive down the inside of Malik Fakrul. Malik did not see his teammate on the inside, closed the door. And back to square one here. Folks, you are racing with each other, but then at the end of the day, you are teammates. So be the sensible teammate here and try to work with your teammate, especially when you're racing in the center.
Yes, yep. Wouldn't want to have any fisticuffs among friends, that's for sure. But the thing is, if they look at it with a glass half full approach, they're actually now going to start on the front row for race number 2 if they want to get that early initiative afterwards. But it looks as though that might not be the case because they're still fighting hard, and Arman Abdullah really going for it here as Rain Alojado, that's Ronaldo Alojado from Cop Class just now, is saying we were roasting him.
Siwi.
Alfie
Yeah.
Glasgow behind them here, watching by in really tentative pose because he doesn't want to actually get too involved
Oh,
in this.
Elliot and Ethan. Actually, Ethan almost took Elliot for the lead.
Oh, good spot there, Alfie, because right now 1, 2, 3 are together here as
Uh-oh.
Elliot Stoneagle's coming through. Around the outside comes Ethan Lowe to actually punch from the inside. That's tight.
Ethan ran onto the sausage curbs.
Oh, that was way too close for
Yep.
comfort.
Yep, we're gonna get into the onboard of Yongjan here because we can at least see what's going on. And Yongjan actually overtook Ethan, so like it's 3 wide coming into the Dunlop chicane.
Whoa. And that livery, the sets of liveries that both teams have, courtesy of Alpha Whiskey, aka Demas Adiansa, is really being put into good use here because it's getting a lot of airtime. Not only by the fact that these guys are leading the way and dominating the field, but we're actually being treated to a really good race between all 3 guys up in front, and we still don't know who's gonna win. We still have about 4 minutes left to go here.
But you know who's benefiting from all this? Jeremy Yao in the Don't Read and Drive BMW.
Look at the cockpit camera and it says, oh no, we can't see it here. But he actually said on the front of the bumper, kiss. Well, it's Valentine's Day, so it makes sense, but he doesn't want to be a bit kissy with other drivers.
Okay, Jeremy, here's a top trick for you. Let them fight with each other. That's what they're doing right now and win from this.
Yeah, but again, it could be a blessing. It could be the opposite for him because he is not fighting with him. He could actually just get off the back right now, but then he knows full well it's an armada right in front of him. It's a team. In fact, it's 2 teams working together as one now, and behind him is another one of them guys. So really, he's stuck in a rock and a hard place.
Yep. 5 tenths is the gap between Elliot and Ethan. Not that big. I mean, it's quite big, like, actually. 5 tenths, especially with 3 minutes to go. But you know, anything can happen. Jeremy Yao is getting closer, but how close can you get? 1.2 seconds behind Yongjian. Not that far, but noticeable. Yep, riding on board Adam Hakim. Can see the gap between him and Jeremy Yao as Yongjian tries to get closer, but I don't think he can get any closure from that.
Yeah. For now, top 5 are actually within earshot of each other, so we'll wait and see what it's going to entail. Nirosh Yashan in P6 is not that far away either, though a bit unassailable in terms of the lead that he has to actually get. So we'll wait and see what he can do with the pace that he has right now. It's matching, but it's just not enough to match the fact that the top 3 have each other's slipstream and pulling even further away. We're coming up now to the penultimate lap next time by.
Yep, 2 to go.
Yep. And we will be underway here for what could be a very interesting closure to this first race of the season.
Oh well, we're gonna have to wait and see. I'm not gonna say anything now, otherwise it's known as the commentator's jinx. And I've jinxed quite a few number of races already. I sure as hell I don't want to ruin this one because I'm actually enjoying it. Not hoping for any calamities between these Pepega boys, but if they don't keep it in control, you know.
Speaking of control, Nirosh Yashan ran a bit wide at the first corner here, and this will allow Arman Abdullah to get up to the back of him as Nirosh takes a big cut coming into the second turn. That really will compromise his run coming out to the long 100R corner that leads to the bottom of the hill that we will go into the double chicane. Arman thinks about it, and where is Zarif Adam in all of this? Because he might just be close. No, in fact, he's lost touch with the other Mercedes, the sister Mercedes racing another Mercedes. So, flash the lights from Arman Abdullah. As they come up to the chicane, side by side they go. Who's going to be the one that's going to blink first? It looks as though it's going to be Arman who blinked because he braked a little bit earlier, but Zarif with a big dive there for a second. He tries to come one, and now there's Arman to the inside of Nirosh, and he loses the position there.
Yeah, we have to go back to the battle for the lead though, because look at this, Ethan is getting closer and it's still the penultimate lap, but when they cross the line, it's going to be the final lap of the race. Ethan is only 3/10 behind Elliot. And will Ethan do any bad boy move for the night?
Well, I doubt it because he knows how to race cleanly, but can he try to pry the door open against another driver who's actually quite good in battles when you engage him in a close quarters combat? But right now, it's a battle for the win, so anything goes at this point. As here comes Elliot on the inside, Ethan on the outside. They both break on pretty much the same point. Elliot held on to that just by the skin of his teeth, and he keeps the lead for now.
Traffic
but that
ahead.
momentum, the traffic's not going to be a factor though because it's a bit further away. But is Elliot going to actually receive the lead here? No, still hangs on to it. They go at it still, side by side. Alright, they come through 100R. Ethan on the outside, Yongjian is watching behind. And all the while then, Jeremy Yao was actually pretty close now too.
Oh, Elliot moving on the braking. Ethan tap Elliot at the gearbox, and Yongjian is just, you know, clapping his hands once this win between the three of them. It's a battle of the Pepegas, but it can also be the loss for them.
Yeah, but they've been driving very well because again, constant communication between the drivers will no doubt be helpful in this regard, as Adam Hakim will definitely try and get up to the back of Jeremy to get a win here. So then, through the final sector, 2 more corners to go after this. Yongjian's behind Ethan, and Ethan's right behind Elliot. Let's see what they can do here. Coming up now to the final corner. This is going to be a really good, close battle to the line. It's a grandstand finish. Who's going to get the better exit here? It looks as though Steven Eagle does, but Ethan is still right behind him. It's going to be a drag race. Coming up to the line, all the way to the start-finish straight. We've seen this before. We have seen this before in the RGB bronze class. We saw Stephen Ong lose a win in the close battle. Across the line they go. Oh, that's a very close one. Ethan just lost out by 33 hundredths of a second from Elliot Stevenagel. Elliot hangs on to it. Ethan second, Yongjian third, makes it a 1-2-3 for the Red Pack Papega team. 4th place is Jeremy L, 5th is Adam Hakim, nearly makes it 1-2-3-4. 6th, Arman Abdullah with a valiant fight to keep it up there. 7th is Nirosh Yashan, 8th is Zarif Adam, 9th Alfiko Aska, and 10th on pole position for the next race will be a McLaren, no doubt, of Naufal Afif Anafi, who we saw just now. Nearly came a crop in that first lap, and the rest of the field coming by across the start-finish straight. we need to go back to that Ferrari if he actually manages to close his door. Razi Aziz it is in that.
Oh, he did.
He managed to close the door somehow, and he actually spins across the line. So good on you. Otherwise, you would have gotten a penalty for that one. But crazy fight. And in fact, Nirosh with a valiant fight to P7 there, as one of the comments says so. Rani Nukaroratne, who was in that first race in Copper. But Pepega dominating the way in a partnership with Red Pack Asia. 1, 2, 3 on the podium with Adam Hakim in 5th. So, Pepega won 4 Pepegas in that top 5.
Amo, I got a question for you. What's a kilometer?
Yes. Definitely he will read that in kilometers for sure because he only was ahead by a few inches.
Yeah, so what's a kilometer?
Well, that's the initial for canned miles, ironically.
Yeah, quite. So, yeah, Elliot, Minnesota man. Well-known figures from Minnesota includes Brock Lesnar. So our very own Brock Lesnar here actually wins race 1 for the bronze in the bronze class for Global Edition Season 17 by 33 hundredths of a second in front of his teammate Ethan Lau.
And remember, we have Shawn Michaels in gold and silver at one point.
Oh yeah, last year.
Yeah, so you had a Brock Lesnar versus Shawn Michaels cage match. That would be one way to watch it.
Yep.
But Elliot with a very close finish in front of Ethan. He might have had his heart in his mouth. And Ethan, you saw his reaction across the line. He knew he had it there, but he just couldn't get to him.
Well, like I told you, Amo, if only Ethan, got closer to Elliot or maybe gave him a love tap on the rear coming out of the final corner, then like what Bergmeister did to Magnussen. Sorry, what Magnussen did to Bergmeister.
Yeah,
remember?
2009 Laguna Seca.
Yeah, 2009 Laguna Seca. So
But we wouldn't want that, would we?
it's good for the public.
Yeah, but not good for the team. I wouldn't want inter-team battles to become poisonous.
I want inter-team battles.
I mean, look at what happened to Villeneuve and Pironi, 1982. That was one toxic team battle that went beyond the grave.
Nah, no need to look further. I think the most well-known toxic team battles is probably during the good old Marlboro McLaren Honda.
Yes, indeed, between Senna and Prost, or in more recent history, Hamilton Rosberg.
More recent, I think more well-known, Hamilton Alonso. They weren't in talking terms actually.
Fairs. So again, it does happen from time to time, but for the time being though, the Pepega boys and Red Pack Asia leading the roost 1, 2, 3 after race number 1. We're waiting for the session to take over. Maybe it's a good time to just take a slight commercial break, isn't it?
Why commentator roasting me? We're not roasting you, we're just enjoying the show.
No, we were talking. That's from Copper Club.
Oh, okay.
Oh, in fact, we're not gonna go to break. We are gonna get ready immediately for the next race, I would say. So, because we're gonna jump back in here, and Alfico Aska for Indonesia M92 Motorsport up in front.
Yep. Beloved Audi. Let's have an outdoor shot of the Audi. One of my favorite GT3 cars, actually. One of the first GT3 car that I worked with, the X Works or TAC Work Audi. Yeah, but apart from that, it's a very nice car to work with, the Audi.
Indeed. And in fact, a correction, Nafal Afif Anafi will be on pole position. He will be looking at the run up to turn 1, about 400 meters up in front of him, in a McLaren no less, so he will have the run up to turn 1 unless he gets the whole shot. Behind, this is Ayman Shamin's view from all the way at the back. So, right then, lights on the gantry, come on, and when they will go out after this, the second race of 2 for the bronze class will get underway. Revs rise, and we're off here for race number 2. It looks as though it's a good start from Naufal. In fact, Naufal gets a good launch off the line, cuts across in front of Alfico Aska. He will get the whole shot coming to turn number 1, but can he get it stopped in time? Oh, he actually outbraked himself, and the rest of the field follows suit as well. Would you believe it, Afik?
That's fair. I mean, leader braking late, everybody else following suit is fine. Any collisions there? Okay, I got 1, 2, and 3 probably. Not much. I see a car spinning around at the top there. It's perfectly fine. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program.
Indeed, and the regularly scheduled will be one we think we have to say for the Pepega Red Pack team. Oh no! Oh, speaking of that, just as I said it! Oh no! Oh, he spins right into the crowd. It was a bit of lag there from Alfico Aska, and bang! Sorry about that, gets a whack, and the rest of the field go by. Niro Sheshchan gets spun around into the barriers there. It's all kicking off.
Yep. We kicked off last race, Emo. What are you talking about? Jimmy Yao here. Kiss! The door at the driver's side of his.
Well, somebody spun for the behind, and you say door handle to door handle fight. You can also talk about love handles, but that's a completely different thing altogether.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, going on to that one, we saw a couple cars waiting for the behind there, but looks as though it's mostly it's clean for the most part. But really crazy moment. In fact, we have confirmation that the front row just now was a lockout of M92 Motorsports. So Naufal and Alfiko Aska, the two teammates, are actually leading the way now.
Damn, the Frenchies transition from music to racing. I can't believe it. Oh, it is M83. Anyway, a good job by the Indonesians. So, Audi's still in top 2. I mean, I'm happy. Hopefully this remains. Malik Fakul disconnected from the race server, so his race is done. So,
yeah, still waiting for the championship, the race standings to actually fix itself, because we still got a bit of that timing glitch. As that was very close for the behind. That's one of the Red Pack Papega guys. I'm not sure if that is Yongjan. In fact, it is Yongjan. So Yongjan fighting Arman Abdullah, and this is kind of like a reversal of what happened in that first race, where it was Zarif Adam trying to find his way through. Now his teammate is going to come by, and there's Adam Hakim as well. So talking about regular schedule program, we thought it was going to go plain and sailing. Suddenly, record screech. Zarif Adam gets knocked out by a bit of lag from Alfiko Aska.
as far as I'm aware, the swap Pepegas in the top 7. Yeah, it's fine. So we're still in the same program schedule now. Pepega boys, do something. Do your magic. You got 4 cars in the top 7, and leader is not that far away. Please close the gap. Collaborate with one another. And if you're listening to this message, don't crash into each other.
Yeah, well, you're talking it on a very partial point of view, isn't it? Impartial. You don't want that to happen, of course. But again, you did say just now about teammates having inter-team battles. That's nice to see, but of course we do not want to see collisions. That will definitely put a dampener on anybody's spirits. As now Arman Abdullah ready to put a dampener. Yeah, he's trying to put a dampener on Yongjan's momentum, but he doesn't get to do so, because here he comes onto the inside. And Yongjan takes third place.
Aska and the two Audis actually fighting for position. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that.
We can pick up right now because the table actually is a bit mixed up. But you're right to point that out just now, that they are actually battling. In fact, they've gone wide! Both of them have gone wide! The M92 team have actually knocked out a 1-2 at that point, and that allows...
They're pushing it!
Oh, would you believe me? We talked about inter-team collisions, and it has happened!
Well, look at that, Yongjan avoiding action from Naufal here, and you have to avoid, and he had to go wider and wider. But look at that, Yongjan. Wait, it wasn't Yongjan, it was someone else. Yongjan here following the gearbox of Arman Abdullah, trying to grab that love handle of his, like what Emo mentioned earlier on. Can he dive down the inside into the Dunlop chicane? Probably not. Arman broke a little bit later. Not so much. A lot of trail braking actually. Right, into the corner?
Yeah, somewhat, but it is also a bit of threshold braking, as Naufal, what is this? No, in fact, it's not teammates, it's Entropy Motorsport. So Entropy is the one that also competed in endurance in ERGP, so endurance. So yeah, it's an Indonesian front row, but unfortunately, no one told them about the script of not hitting each other, as now Arman Abdullah ready to annoy yet another Papega Red Pack driver. This time it's Yongjan. He did that maneuver earlier just now by weaving a bit. He shouldn't do that too much, otherwise he will incur the wrath of the stewards.
It's not the weaving that I'm concerned about, it's the way that he approached the final corner. Because the way he's doing is that he's actually braking a lot earlier than Yongjan, and catching Yongjan by surprise, and it can go either one or two ways. So Yongjan dives around the outside trying to overtake Arman Abdullah, but Arman Abdullah is actually gonna be the loser in this, because Yongjan is gonna have to switch back. It all depends whether Arman is gonna squeeze Yongjan out of the track.
Let's see that coming up now to that little kink into the second sector. Yongjan still right behind here, and Arman Abdullah has proven to be quite a tough cookie to crack. Oh!
So you see what I'm talking about? All the other GT3 cars, they're not braking in the middle of the corner. I'm not saying that Arman's driving is a little bit different. I mean, different drivers got different driving styles, but then, if I'm being honest with you, Yongjan is actually, being very aware of this.
Yes.
So,
look at that.
Look at that.
Flick it to the right, flick it to the left. Arman, actually, to be fair, it's quite a fair defense from him. It is in the gray area, but there's nothing too malicious about it. It has been in the within the guidelines of the rules. But that allows Entropy Motorsports, Naufal Afif Anafi to actually get up to the back of the both of them, and this will play into his hands because right now he can just watch, breathe, and wait to see what the two in front of him are going to do in regards to the squabbling. We're halfway now through this race, and it's still almost halfway through this race, and it's neck and neck right now. We don't know who is going to be victorious out of all this, and that one probably might could
weaving again. Yeah, weaving, second time weaving. I'm going to look into that. If I was a steward, I'll look into that.
And you are.
No. Am I saying I'm the stewards for tonight? I don't think so. Rubber's Miracle 2010 Hungaroring. Yongjan dives down the inside. No, my Yongjan overshoot himself like Jorge Martin in Sepang.
Yes, and of course Jorge Martin nearly threw away the championship last year at Sepang. Would you believe it?
Yeah, but he put
did.
a good of a show.
Yep. As Naufal now is the main beneficiary of that, but he's got 3 immediate Pepega Red Pack cars right behind him, starting with Yongjan, who just will be kicking himself, knowing that he could have actually taken the lead of this race. Now he has to fight it all over again in P3, and the more he fights with Naufal, the more that Arman Abdullah will walk away as the victor here.
Just to point out the viewers here, the leaderboard, the timing screen actually changes quite every few seconds, so don't worry about if the driver that you're looking is not in the correct order. Yongjan is in third, and he got tapped out by Ethan Lau, so don't worry about it. It's all part of the Paprika master plan at the end of the day.
Yes.
And Ethan Lau here trying to communicate with Yongjan. Give me the way. Will he give the way? I don't think so. Probably not, because Yongjan is actually quite further behind now than he was a couple of corners ago from Naufal. And to be honest with you, Yongjan as compared to Ethan, they both are quick, but it all depends on who has the better racecraft. So if Ethan can communicate with Yongjan, or maybe creating a deal with him saying, hey, if I can't overtake Naufal, I'll give you better position, yeah?
Indeed. And meanwhile, Alfika Aska, who survived that little shunt that he had with fellow countryman Naufal, is fighting with Jeremy Yao here, coming up to turn number 1. And the two Pepega guys are going to get it. Yongjan, remember, overshot the corner previously, and it looks as though he got it away this time. But Alfika Aska does run a bit deep and takes the position away from Jeremy Yao that time around. But, well, it's all swapping, changing, and out of all of that, we still haven't seen the rest of the field just yet. I was about to pick up on Kenny Lim and Hazi Aslan because there they are. This is the battle that we were looking out for just now with the timing screens, because Kenny Lim for Handshake Sim Racing is battling for the final points of the entire race, because, of course, top 10 gets the point in race number 2 as opposed to top 15. Zarif Adam is the one who's trying to actually get that back because he was taken out probably unfairly, he reckoned.
Yeah, we have to go back to Yongjan and Naufal. It's getting a lot closer. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there we go.
Top chicane.
And Naufal gets really taken out to dry on the grass and sweeps through. Goes Ethan Lau to take P3, and Elliot Stonehagle is probably trying to make it 3 in a row as well. He's already outside of Naufal. Can he make it stick? Naufal goes narrow in the Entropy car. Does he get it through? Elliot's on the outside. Oh, put it behind. Crash. Adam Hakim has actually been taken out onto the grass.
I was looking at Elliot, licking his lips with his tongue while overtaking you, like enjoying this battle. So if your name starts with Naufal Afif Anafi, well, I got bad news for you. You got overtaken by not 1, not 2, but 3 Pepega cars for tonight. And all you have to do is now overtake 1 by 1 again. First up is Elliot Stewenagel. Will he dive down the outside coming into turn 1? Probably not, but it's worth the shot. Or will he overshoot like Jorge Martin did?
Oh, let's see then. He actually does make it this time. And
nice
bit of driving from both of them. But Elliot will try to actually brave it around the outside here. Who's going to blink first? That's the main question. It looks as though Elliot has thought of discretion as being a better part of valor that time around, and gives the position away to Naufal. He tries to overtake him. Good save there from Naufal. He tried to overtake him while he's off the track, so he was learning a bit of NASCAR style driving there by bumping and running. That time, however, nearly caused the both of them to crash out.
Well, channeling his inner Kyle Larson is what Elliot is doing right now, and I'm enjoying this show. Pepika battle second and third for the final start of the podium. Can go either way. We can go both ways, where Pepega actually crashes into one another.
Whoa!
And M92, if Aska here, gets collided by Elliot. to no fault of his own, to be honest. It's a racing incident.
Indeed, and for Arman Abdullah up in front, we'll get to watching him after this because he is 3.2 seconds ahead of Ethan Lau. Really robust defending, I would have to say, because sometimes it will fall in the lines of being a bit grey, but you can say that it is mostly fair, and he has earned his lead to just keep it on here. Earn Yu Lim is actually supporting for Arman. Go Arman is what they're saying. Entropy has a bit of support for Naufal. He's up to P4. He actually just outwitted one of the Pepes into P4 right now. It says P1 on P8, P7, P6 for a second. It's because our timing screen is waiting to actually adjust itself. But
Not just the timing screen, but I think Naufal Afif Hanafi, oh never mind, he changed. Naufal Afif Hanafi actually changed skin tone, so quite surprised. For a while, but it's okay. All good. Right, producer?
I don't know
Yeah,
if
styling
I
himself.
don't know. Not sure how we're gonna say about that, but we'll keep it as PC as we could, despite that little slip up.
It's not slip up. It's basically us enjoying ourselves here, and that's what we do. We're enjoying the race as viewers. You know, you have to enjoy the race, and as you know, people wants to entertain you at this beautiful Valentine's Day. Hey man, if you don't have a girlfriend, why not do the best thing in the world? Watch an ERGP race.
Good little plug there. Anyway, now we're actually back up to the battle for P7 and 8 because look at that. Jeremy Yao is actually fighting with one of the core best. That's Haziq Aslan. So Haziq has actually gotten in front of him. And Zarif Adam has actually gotten the P7. How did that happen? Because he was outside the top 10, but Zarif outwitted everybody. And we're on board with Handshakes Kenny Lim. He's now in P10. So he's got 1 point here. But no doubt, a few more points are for the taking right in front of him.
Yep. The big boy is actually going a lot slower. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna say anything about Arman Abdullah. I'll let him do his thing. I'll let the big boys do their thing. I'll let Kenny Lim do his thing because he's chasing a GM car, and Ford versus General Motors normally won't go so well.
Well,
I'll be honest with you.
It's not going well in V8 supercars, despite being Ford versus Chevy, but it doesn't ring the same as Ford versus Honda.
Not yet. But, you know, with one Ford and GM, well, because Cadillac is still in the WEC program, so once Ford actually, oh, never mind, Haziq Aslan.
Oh! He actually outbraked himself twice. He nearly whacked into the back of Zarif Adam, manages to hold on to that, and he's right in front of his teammate Kenny Lim. So Kenny now will try to pass his out of control teammate for a second to go up to P9, but he stays P10. All the while then, Jeremy Yao is now get right up to the back of the other Pepega who's up into P7. So anyway, look, battles are still going on, would you believe it, Afiq?
Yep. Got a battle for P14. Fernando versus Soyrao. I have to give some love. Where's Enzo Isot in all this? Our pole sitter from race 1.
Well, sad to say the least, he is not here in race number 2.
No, he is. P17.
Well, because the championship tape, the standings keep changing every now and then. But here, there he is. There's the one that we're looking out for LOR Ascent, the junior team to Legionel Races. He had pole position, but it looks as though the races have not panned out to what he would have liked. And behind him, coincidentally, is Nirosh Yeshan. So Nirosh as well, not the best of starts for this season.
Yep, Arman Abdullah, will this be the final lap? I doubt so. Yeah, it's not the final lap. Haha, psych. You got one more lap here, ladies and gentlemen. One more lap of bronze. Arman Abdullah, 1.5 seconds ahead of Ethan Lau. And if Arman Abdullah doesn't overshoot into this corner, then Ethan is going to finish in second place, followed up by Yongjan in third place. As we can see, the two Indonesians fighting it out. Mas, don't fight with each other. Support. Supportnya Mas.
Jangan ganyang.
Jangan ganyangnya Mas. There you go.
Yeah, we would love to go geopolitical, but we'll keep it at that.
It's not geopolitical. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's just a word at the end of the day.
Anyhow, yeah, looks like Naufal managed to get the better of Alfico Ascar. Alfico goes completely out of control for a second there. Luckily held it together. In fact, he's driving for the old Audi, not the Evo 2 Audi. You can see by the difference of the wing. But Alfico goes for it! Oh, he dives into the side of Naufal and whacks the McLaren. So it's still not over yet.
Yep. Oh well. Afiko Ascar. Something you shouldn't do. Don't fight with your teammate, especially knowing that it's the last lap. Fight for the position. Don't be selfish. Fight for the team's championship.
Well, actually, they're not part of the same team. They're from different ones. Mistake for a second. It is M92 and Entropy, so they're fellow countrymen. So the worst thing you can do is a civil war among each other. That's really
Yeah,
you don't
okay.
want.
Yeah,
But
Arman
anyway,
Abdullah, where are you? 1.4 seconds ahead of Ethan Lau. Don't overshoot into this corner, and he's going to exit the final corner into the a long start finish race. He's going to take a win in the second race of Global Edition Season 17, the
Yep.
bronze class race 2.
and it will be his first ever win as well in the Global Edition. It's Amran Abdullah. He comes across the line and takes a worthy win, even if we can't put an asterisk on it because the Papega guys will feel hard done by the way that he defended in both races. But regardless, he takes a commanding win in front of Ethan Lau, who will take the championship lead into round number 2 for Papega Red Pact. Third place is Yongjan, likewise will be in competitive spirits too. Fourth, Elliot Stoneagle, and he pinballs his teammates out of the way. Fifth is Nafal Afif Anafi. Sixth, Alfiko Aska in a very close finish there. Seventh is Arif Adam, and he will...
It's actually not bad. It's actually good. Well,
Oh, big accident. Jeremy Yao, he got a kiss in the end there. And Haziq Aslan 9th. 10th is Kenny Lim. That will be the last of the point scorers, as the rest of the field now have actually crossed the line. And we can call it a night on the bronze class after what was a dramatic start in both races. But ultimately, though, it is going to be the Papega show here from here on out, because it looks as though they are really looking very ominous in this class this season, Afiq.
Yep. Oh well. I mind. Ethan Lau, biggest winner. Or should I say biggest loser, because he finished second in both races. And from the words of Nigel Chua, my Speed Tavern teammate back then, I do not want to finish second. I'm the first of the losers. But if you finish second and you're leading the championship at the end of the round, I'll take that.
Indeed. Well, we are actually now wrapping things up here for the bronze class. We will take a break, brought to you by our sponsors from X-Park and Royal Selangor, and of course, Axel Sports being the organizers of the championship. We'll be right back then for the main events, shall we say, because the entree that we had, and of course the before the main meal of the bronze class provided some action. Let's see how the main course fares here. Tonight, we will be wrapping things up with silver and gold. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Pewter is about possibilities. It is an idea made real. Crafted with precision. It can make tradition timeless. Pewter evolves. When allowed to be free, It can captivate you. Pewter is our legacy, and we're keeping the legacy alive. Royal Selangor, since 1885.
If gold and silver is the mains, copper was our starters, and bronze is my French onion soup
The
with
entree.
garlic bread.
The entree, yes.
Yes.
But what a way to introduce there, Afik. Would you like to carry on with what we have seen tonight?
It's Fuji. What am I talking about? It's Fuji. It's WEC. It's hypercars. It's prototypes. What more do you want, ladies and gentlemen? You want hypercars? We give you hypercars here in eRGP. You want WEC tracks that they race at? We give you Fuji. We might even do Le Mans for all we know.
Well, we don't know about that, of course. We will wait and see what the track this has to offer. But what has been a really good start to the season so far with the bronze and copper categories. Now, we can put it all aside for now with the main show here. The hypercars the last couple of seasons have provided some really good action, and there's a reason why we've kept it on for a third season. You can't fix anything that's not broken. It's definitely provided some good old racing.
If the relationship is okay, spend time with your loved ones Valentine's Day. But if it's not, watch eRGP for tonight, okay? So,
Right.
yeah, so
Rolling on.
go ahead. Standings for last season in the gold class for the first time ever. Roy Ripperip from Pinoy. Actually, it's a Pinoy. It's from Philippines, but it's a Pinoy, which is a boy. Philippine boy. So 94 points, winning the championship by only 2 points. And then Kanzai in front of Raja Amirul Shaukat, the Labuan boy. Then Kanzaini Ramdhani from the Indonesian boy. Then you got Galadi Haki, the other Indonesian boy. And then Michael Vincent Velasquez running up the top 5, which is a Pinoy.
Yes. But the other big surprise was the fact that Fauzu Alim in the Sri Lankan team, Sim Racing Lanka, was just so dominant in front that he decided to just play it easy in that final round. But it was a dominant display throughout the season nonetheless in front of Marcus Lacambra and Shawn Michaels, not the wrestler.
Hey!
But Fauzu Alim definitely was having double the life because he and Tehan Iranga would also wrap up the Endurance Edition title as well. So definitely he will love to do the same thing here, but in the silver class, and is a completely kettle of fish compared to what he was driving last season.
Indeed. Anyway, qualifying for gold and silver live now, ladies and gentlemen. Kanzaini Ramdhani in the 499 SP. SP, right?
499p.
Oh, 499T?
P.
Oh, my goodness. We have our old friend here, but we're not going to say names. So, let's enjoy the show here,
Yeah,
ladies and
indeed.
gentlemen.
And the fact there's a brand new livery for the BR1 team, or Balapan Random Motorsports guys, it definitely is looking very sharp, very slick. It looks almost as if that AF Corsa decided to loan out this car to them, and it could pass off as a real world livery as well. So really, really nice. The 499p, and it's a twice Le Mans winning car, 3-time race winner in the WEC. So nice to see that Ramdhani has actually kept it up, and he will no doubt be aiming for the title, the one that he's won in silver as well. So he will have to add a gold title to the mantelpiece.
Okay, Abo, I've got a question for you. If you were a Ferrari driver and Ferrari has an IndyCar program that they want to join to increase the American presence, would you be a full-time WEC driver with the 499, a full-time IndyCar driver to have a chance in winning the 500, or would you rather drive the F125?
I'd rather win the Indy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because Indy has always been one of my favorite championships outside of the World Endurance Championship and Formula One, because IndyCars is just not getting enough love, at least until this year, because they got a new TV deal with Fox Sports, and the commercials have been
And the
on point.
commercials have been great. They have what? Joseph Newgarden, Alex Palou, and Pato Award, whose last name sounds Irish but is actually Mexican.
Yes, and you're quoting from the commercial directly, so there goes how on point it is.
Yeah.
But they should have said Pato who?
Pato who? Pato what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but-
so like, you
yeah.
know, if you ask me, the Holy Trinity, you know, F1, WEC, IndyCar, Indy 500, Le Mans, Monaco, I would win, you know, Monaco first. I would win Le Mans first than Monaco. Because Monaco to me is too short. IndyCar is just nice, but to be honest with you, it's a lot of that mental capacity in order for you to survive driving 500 miles of, you know, left-hand turns.
Yes.
And then having to deal with like drafts and whatnot. So you have to be very smart in IndyCar, and especially over racing. So
And you can brave.
yeah, and so everybody would be like, oh, it's just turning left. No, it's not. It's also the mental fortitude that one needs in their brain, in their mind.
Yes.
As we have a Miriam shooting outside of our studio here.
Ooh, look at that. Cameron James up to second place behind there in the Whelan Cadillac, not the Whelan Corvette that we saw earlier. Same number though, number 31 as well, coincidentally. So
It's still a
unfortunately-
GM car.
Yeah. Unfortunately, no livery for this one because some teams failed to upload it. So that's why we'll be waiting for the second round to see all the teams' full liveries. But nonetheless, Cameron James up to second. Gerlani Haki, a switch of cars. He was in Lamborghini at one point for M92 Motorsport. Now he's in the Cadillac and leading the way up in front here of Keith Moore by 0.4 of a second. Let's see the rest of the field. Ahmad Jusmin in the Peugeot. Would you believe it?
No rear wing Peugeot. Damn. Then they installed that rear wing
Yeah, with the Evo Joker.
with the Evo Joker. Did it work?
50-50.
50-50.
Hopefully they'll stay though, because we definitely love to see a unique change in concept, especially that mohawk at the top with the air vents on the back of that really does create quite a character.
Yeah, but
most of the force is coming from underneath.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is exactly like what Le Mans is. You want to include, you know, ingenuity, and especially, oh my god, oh, this guy needs no introduction here, ladies and gentlemen. Toyota factory Malaysia driver, Toyota car, and in a Toyota track. This is just a one-off from him. I'll be honest with you. This is definitely a one-off. He'll be qualifying on pole. He'll be winning race 1. He'll be winning race 2. But it's not that. It's the fact that, you know, Nakib keeps showing up at races where we least expected him to be. He's gonna... Well, has he started a lap?
Well, I think he's improved. No, he's dropped
No,
a bit
he's not
further.
yet.
And
Not
he-
yet. Yeah, so like he's still getting the hang of it. I mean, he just landed from Yogyakarta a couple of days ago.
Yeah, he's probably, well, not jet lag, but a bit tired from
a
the-
bit tired from the traveling. I mean, if I get tired from work, Naki will be definitely tired from all the traveling that he's been doing. Jumping all the sausage curbs onto the left-hander coming up to turn 3, into the long right-hander turn 4. So you can see the GR010.
Yep, GR10 hybrid, and of course a 4-time champion of the gold
Global,
category
yeah.
for ERGP Global Edition. So he will be one to watch out for. Not for the time being, at least, because he hasn't really been putting in the lap times that we think will be the most competitive. But for now, he will be one to watch out for.
We have to stay on board with Nakib because let's go on board Nakib because you have to see the way he drives. He's got 4 championships already in the gold class. You know, emulating his idol, Sebastian Vettel. Will he go for a 5th like Juan Manuel Fangio? Most likely. Will he get captured by the Cubans? Most likely not. But
Well, yes.
yeah, but
He'll have to drive for Mercedes for that first.
yeah, but you see how smooth Nakib's steering is. I mean, he does make those small little overcorrections, but you know, it's those small little overcorrections that can actually gain you time. Nakib is actually on another flyer here.
Yes.
We're about to wait and see whether he's going to qualify.
Yeah,
and he's going-
Kimo's on pole, but let's see if Nakib has managed to put it together. And the answer is no, not yet. I think he's gone wide a couple of times. That has actually forced him off.
He's
Anyway,
just trying
yeah.
to put on a show for every one of us. So, is that an Acura in P6?
It is. It's Adam Harif, Murdoch for Handshake Malaysia. And that will definitely be the one to watch out for as well, because it's a unique car. It did come close to winning Daytona this year. And he has won Daytona before with the very team that he's driving in this livery for,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
Maya Shang Racing.
Yeah, back in 2022 with Helio Castroneves, Spider-Man, in the first year for LMDH actually, in IndyCar, sorry,
In IMSA, yeah.
in IMSA Daytona.
But nonetheless, they did win that with an asterisk. They were caught for changing tire pressures, so they lost the championship because of that, ironically. But they managed to still keep the Daytona win, so Murdoch will be hoping not to do the same thing here by getting bopped for any infractions. Now, we've actually gone through the hypercar category. Let's see what is going on in the silver category in LMP2. It's Apex Racing Brunei with Iman Ryan up in front, and he's on an outlier because he went back into the pits, but he's currently sitting on pole position in the in the silver class, and we see a hypercar going off big time there. That might have been Murdoch. It's Murdoch. Yeah, Murdoch went off there, but he's ready to wind it up for yet another run. Behind him is Aziz Shami Mokhtar, already in front of him on track, but behind him in the table, second place for Pepega Racing Red Pact,
Nakib
and
is
third.
Oh, Nakib is actually still in 14. Sorry.
Yeah, I think Nakib still probably hasn't set a proper lap time yet. Chester Elok for Track Esports, he made the jump up from the silver category, and that's quite a nice livery that he got there as well. A bit pristine, but I was actually looking forward to finding where is Alonso Lacambra, because Alonso Lacambra has actually exited the pit lane, exited the race completely. Was looking forward to it because he is riding a Hatsune Miku livery, which is weebish, especially we're in Japan right now. So that'll be quite nice to see, but unfortunately Lacambra is not in our sights. And speaking of a driver that is actually keeping his sights on pole is Justin Raul Dev, who's actually racing from the Axel Academy, and he's not really being able to put the laps together just yet, but no doubt he will try and get that pole.
Look at the oversaturation here from Justin's camp. But, you know, Justin racing hard, not in his normal simulator, which is an Axel Johor. A bit different, but then he's got the nicer wheel rig combo. Yongjan there giving a thumbs up. As we have another Miriam shooting outside of our studio here.
Canon.
Yeah, Canon, same thing, but...
Well, you can't say Miriam because...
yeah, because they wouldn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't code switch here.
Yeah, so like... Okay, like Justin Rahul Dev, what can you do? In the middle of the LMP2 field. Definitely time to improve. We've got 29 cars actually, so quite a number of cars. 53 seconds to go. Nakib Azlan still in P17, wondering, you might be wondering, what's Nakib doing in all this? He's in P12, so he has improved, not by much. But
he's not having a great day.
Yeah, this is outlet, so benefit of the doubt. Cold tires, one lap, alright. Is this Nakib or is this Nazmi?
It might be Nazmi. It is Nakib.
No cap?
Well, we don't know who it is right now, but what if it is rarely offbeat for the driver who's normally on form every single race that he enters. So this might just be probably he's keeping his powder dry, he's just keeping us guessing when he's going to put it up on the board. But for now, Nakib Azlan is P14 overall in the gold class and last of the hypercar guys. So let's see how this will play out for him as the lap goes. But Galadi Haki is actually parked it right now and he's on pole position. He's actually practicing his start. So that's actually quite a nice thing to do, isn't it? Because sometimes you don't get the best of starts on a standing form because most of the time it's rolling starts. Yes, another Toyota comes into the pit lane. That is Chester Lam. So Chester is up to second place. What a lap time he did to get it up there.
Yep. Chester. Keith. Who we focusing on? Who are we focusing on?
Well, right now we're focusing on Nakib because that is the man of the hour in every single competition he does. But at this point, P14 will probably not be the best reflection of the talent and skill that he normally has, as the rest of the field have actually finished their laps. Cameron James is up to P6, but he's waiting for it. Ooh, there goes a bit wide! And he dropped it, that's it! That's it, there goes his qualifying.
Camera director, can we cut this from the highlights later on? Alright, we got a thumbs up. So, okay. Nakib, Nabil, Nazmi, we don't know who. Michael Vincent Velasquez, the sole Lamborghini in the grid. What can you do? What can you do for LOR? What can you do for Philippines?
Oh, and what he can do is hopefully he can get that driver away. Kamal Ali, who's bogging him, the driver from the Greece Milan, who just caught him in the wrong direction, and Velasquez will have his lap time bogged a bit. He comes across the line now. Can he improve his P9 starting position? Across the line he goes, and it looks as though no improvement. No improvement.
Oh well.
And that will be it. But the man of the hour is Galandi Haki, who will be lining up on pole position in the first round of gold and silver, while the silver category will see Iman Ryan on pole position. So that is an upset for the books for both categories.
Murdoch P10, Velasquez P9, Aiman Abbas P8, Kanzaini Ramdhani P7. So Cameron James P6, Ahmad Jusmin P5, Fikri Azkaim P4. Sorry, Mama Asa. Huh?
Azhar, yeah, Azhar the Bruneian, yeah.
Oh, it's two Ashas now.
Yeah, the Bruneian.
Damn,
Azhar.
I've missed out a lot. Okay, Keith Moore in P3, actually not bad, qualifying 5 tenths behind Geladi Haki. Chester Lam, we thought he was going to be the second fastest Toyota today, but he's actually the fastest Toyota, so I'll give him credit for that. And Geladi Haki running up your top 10 and finishing quality in P1, so he's going to start the race from P1.
Yep.
And-
But yeah, the thing is right. The spread of lap times is actually not so bad. Some of those guys that applied to race in gold and silver, you might think that need to have a bit of time in other classes to be up there. But amazingly, it's only about 7 seconds from Geladi Haki all the way to Sharif Dairani, who is last among the field, but also in the LMP2 class. So, looks as though we will have a fully stacked grid in both categories. It's almost like in the real World World Endurance Championship, almost 20 plus cars full season in hypercar nowadays. Would you imagine that a few years back?
Yep. If more participants now. Is there a rotary engine outside of our studio?
It's a rotary, yeah, but we're not looking at any rotaries. Unfortunately, Mazda decided not to come by for the hypercar era. Anyway, this is the look from Geladi Haki's point of view. He's got to run up to turn number 1, 400 meters from where he's starting to the first corner, and let's hope he doesn't overshoot that one. And we look at the middle of the field, Kamal Ali. This is what he will look like from his side, as Nakib is the one driving. We have confirmation now in his car, so interesting to see why he had an off day. Maybe he's trying to make us guess what he's going to do in the race, but this is Kamal Ali's point of view. And right at the back just now we saw Sharif Dairani at the back. But
Emo, I'd like to take the honors. Okay, it's gonna be lights on the gantry. You've got 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, 6 lights on the gantry. And as they go out, round 1, race 1 of the gold and silver class is underway.
Oh!
And you've got Chester Lam, who has a belter of a start, overtaking Geladi Haki from the Cadillac. As the Cadillac dives on the inside, look at Cameron James, everybody's pushing each other off the track. And look at that, Geladi Haki pushes Chester Lam off track. Where is Nakib in all this? He's actually enjoying himself here. And he's actually managed to get up a few positions here, Emo.
oh
no! Geladi Haki!
Yes, Haki goes off, but he managed to get back onto the track.
Oh, well,
Would you
good steals
believe
there.
that?
Good steals there by Geladi Haki. We have to get on board Nakib. Where's Nakib? Where Nakib is driving? Ah, there you go. Oh, no, Nakib! Michael
Oh.
Plugs are almost tapping him.
Oh no, Keith Mo's been spun around.
The
Keith's
blue
been spun around the
Ferrari.
field. And he is going to have to wait for the entire field. That's good driving. It was Murdoch, Adam Harif, who actually failed to get off the line. So, Keith Mo right at the back, and his dad, Rick, really puts efforts to deliveries. Unfortunately, that's not the sort of airtime that he would have wanted.
A lot of crashes and Nakib being the argy-bargy. Look at it, he's getting another
Oh, no.
fight there with Fanny Soy.
There's a Peugeot off track. Peugeot's...
Oh no, Nakib!
Oh, an off day indeed, and look at that, more and more cars come by. Nakib Aslan, not a very happy return to Fuji Speedway. It wasn't the best of rounds that he had last time when we were in GT1s, and he's gonna be right at the back of the entire field with all the work to do. But we're gonna go back up to the front here as the rest of the field come by, with the first lap being completed by Chester Lam up in front. How he would have loved to see that. Oh, further behind, another spin. There's an LMP2 facing the wrong way.
Yeah.
Owen Mercado.
Move over, Grandpa, is probably what they're telling Nakib right now. Oh well, Nakib is not much of a grandpa, but he's a veteran in the GP scene.
And now that's the car that I was looking out for. Look at that, Good Smile Racing tribute from Alonso Marcos Lacambra. Another Weeb livery to add to the collection of Weeb liveries that we've had over the past few seasons. This is
3
one of the-
wide into turn 4. Look at that, the Mad Dog is going right in the middle of the entire field.
Yeah, we're gonna go on board with Adam Harif, Murdoch around the outside of Bardia Nick. He makes light work of him. Chester Elog is gonna be the next one in line, and he's gonna be quite 50-50 right there, and he does make it so. But again, that's the difference in speed, because there's a difference in class as well. So Murdoch being all the way back here is quite a shocker because of how poor of a start that he had. He literally got off the line and just really stopped in his tracks because he probably jumped the start, who knows. But whatever it is, he has all the work to do here up in the front. Now, let's see. Here's a battle that we were seeing in the timing screen. Haywood Sui, who's going to try to go on the inside of Ali Al-Hafizi, and he makes the move stake on the inside of the Cadillac.
Yep. Haywood Sui, Hong Kong.
Yep.
Haywood Sui from Hong Kong. Chester Lam from Hong Kong. Everybody's from Hong Kong nowadays are actually quite quick.
Oh, Lacambra goes onto the grass. Lacambra nearly loses it for a second there, as now he's actually, this is battle for the win. In fact, in the LMP2 class for silver class, into the start-finish straight. Coming up to turn number 1 then, we're going to the helicam. We get to see the bird's eye view of all of this, as behind more and more cars come piling in, including a Peugeot in between that. That is Ahmad Jusmin who has spun around in that first lap. This is Lacambra in the Hatsune Miku Good Smiles livery, trying to battle with Zef Yuen and the race leader in the silver class, which is Iman Ryan.
Yep. Such a kicking off there in the steward chat. Emma, why do you have to expose me like that? I don't want to be known as stewards.
Oh, you said it yourself now.
I'm exposing myself as the commentator for this race. Now that you mention it, it's actually a lot of penalties going on for bronze and copper, but
Yeah.
that's for another day. So, and the focus for this race, Zef Yuan, why are you fighting with Ahmad Jasmine? You're not supposed to fight. Let him pass.
And that's, that's a familiar name for both of us who were in the Speed 7 League. Remember
Yeah,
them?
remember Zef? Yeah, Zef was the one who came up to me and was like, Mr. Afri, call me Mr. back then. Imagine
He's a kid,
Yeah, he's a kid.
He's only, what, 16? Because we saw his entire...
What was it, 4 when he started, 12 when he started racing in the Speed 7 League, which was, what, 5 years ago?
Yeah, and the fact that he literally is just still a kid and making his way through and having his entire church group cheering on last time. It
Yeah,
shows
man.
that, wow, this kid really has a future right in front of him, but he needs to really prove his worth right now because he is against some really tough competitors, including one we're looking at right now, Alonso Marcus Lacambra with Keith Mo. Keith Mo is actually not part of this particular battle. He is in a different class altogether. As Keith now, this is the battle of the young guns. Into coming to turn number 1. Keith makes it through, but does Alonso Marcus Lacambra make it through around the outside of Zef Yuen? Yes, he does!
Oh, never mind, they almost collected them.
Oh, they nearly collected each other big time, and mercifully, good car control. We can see through in his camera there how much he had to just counter steer to prevent a complete disaster.
Yep, that same engine GT1 will definitely need some new wrap by the looks of things. Good eye, Afiq. As always, Kelandi Haki here in P4.
Yep.
Yeah, the Indonesian fighting for P3, the final step of the podium against Cameron James.
Yeah.
Ahead of him is Muhammad Askar from the Bruneian, and then you also got Chester Lam, the Honky. But if I'm being honest with you, it's perfectly fine
Yeah, the
for the Hong Kong native.
Hong Konger. We said Hong
Hong
Konger.
Kong.
Yeah, Hong Konger live on stream, but we nearly, left ourselves silly because we thought that was the wrong word. We turned out to be correct, so I got that first time. Thank you very much.
Well,
But-
I got that wrong, so
yeah.
apologies to all the Hong Kongers that are watching the stream here, especially my old boss. But perfectly
Anyway,
fine.
Yeah. Anyhow, this is Kanzani Ramdani who was running in P5 behind Galani Haki and Cameron James. So Cameron then upholding the flag for the Handshake Sim Racing team. Really proving his worth here in the hypercars. So really he's loving every bit of it at this point. Didn't have the best of seasons last time, but surely this time he will try to piece it together and put on a competitive showing for that particular squad and for himself. But he's got Haki right behind him, really closing areas. Coming up now to the chicane. And all the while then, what's happening in front is that Muhammad Azhar, the Bruneian, who is impressive in the Endurance Edition, up to P2. So he will be on for a Global Edition win if he can keep it together and try to hang on to the back of Chester Lam. We're on to almost the halfway point of this race. Nothing separating these guys. The top 5 all within earshot of each other.
Yep. Oh well. So I went through Reddit, it's perfectly fine. So, but if I did offend some of you people, I'm sorry to say, but...
Oh, Naki's been spun around! This time by Suryo Pambundi. So, oh wow, Nakib is having an absolute nightmare of a round this time, and rightfully so that he actually... Wait,
unsafe re-entry! Unsafe re-entry by Nakib! That's 10 penalty!
I was about to say, he did the right thing of trying to wait for everybody to come by, as professional drivers would. But unfortunately, he didn't catch sight of the LMP2 guys who are still coming by. So Nakib, once again, had to, well, he had brave face moment right there. But no doubt, this might just be one of those days there. Maybe this race only. Second race, we'll see probably the best of it. But for now, he has to go pick out the pieces as we were focusing on Iman Raya, and there he is, racing with the very guy that took out Nakib just now, Surya Pambudi.
You know what surprises me? Naki will actually finish outside of the top 10. So
On merit, because it's not
on
retirement.
merit.
It's not
Yeah,
retirement.
It's not, yeah, but like,
It's not retirement, but it's just that merit 50-50, but it's just on pure racing pace alone.
yeah, so you got 7 minutes to go. Would you rather start from the front of the grid or would you rather start from the middle of the pack? It's up to
Yeah.
Nakib to decide.
Yeah.
But he's got no choice today, so he had to start from the last spot of the grid in race 2. Not a surprise, but you know, it's Nakib.
Anyhow,
Today. He's supposed to.
yep.
Yeah, he can do wonders. And as how Haywood Sui, the Hong Konger, fighting with Aiman Hakim bin Abbas. God, I've heard. It's been a long time since I've heard of him in the Hertz Toyota car. And it's another Hertz Toyota car fighting with each other. And Michael versus Velasquez is going to be 3 wide coming to turn 1.
And
Watch this. So it's basically a Penske versus a Dallara at this point. Aiman Hakim on the outside, Haywood Sui on the inside. And Michael versus Velasquez is going to dive down the inside. It's going to be 3 wide into turn 1.
Whoa, look at that. 3 wide, and the middle of that is actually Sui, but he thinks better of it to break early and allow Velasquez and Ayman to come by. So Murasaki Tadashi making a return. No, in fact, he's known as Raiden Shogun nowadays. Oh, they touch each other. They've actually had a bit of a touch there, preventing what could have been an absolute disaster because they held it quite well. But Ayman and Haywood are still in it, and all the while then, Alif El Hafizi is actually closing by in the Cadillac.
Yep.
So Chip Ganassi Racing versus Penske.
Yep, Alif Al
On
Hafizi, the
Toyota,
Finn.
this is.
Yeah, the Finn. Oh well, Chester Lam still leading the race. Asa, P2. Cameron James in P3. Haywood Soi still tries to find a way outside.
No!
Inside of the.
And Ayman gets pushed out. Ayman actually got hung out to dry on the grass, and then some. Here comes Alif Al Hafizi to get by, and Ayman loses 2 positions in one go. So for the Gladius competitions driver, that wasn't the best sector for him.
Yep.
Okay, let's catch up, refs. Now we're into that final 5 minutes of the race.
Give it time. We've been I've been commentating since Copper, since 8 o'clock just now. Ammo.
Yes, but the thing is, it's not over just yet. And all the while then, Murdoch is actually closing out to the back of him too.
Oh, I hear see Galani Haki fighting with what Kanzani Ramdani. Is that for position?
It is. Yes, it is.
Yes. Oh, well, we'll just keep it. Ammo, just keep it chill.
I know. I mean, you're too chill. You sound like you're on some sort of banned substance.
I am not on banned substance, Ammo.
Even though you've been to
I'm
Thailand.
a
You've been to Thailand.
I have been to Thailand, but that doesn't mean you know the word fitna. Yeah, you can't just accuse somebody of doing stuff that is illegal to their immune
Okay, sorry.
system.
Sorry, because we're closer to Ramadan, we cannot do that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Who says we can't do that anymore? Anyway, Galani Haki still 3/10 behind. Still 3/10 behind Kanzani Ramdani. Ferrari versus Cadillac. V8 versus whatever engine
V6.
the Ferrari has.
V6 Turbo.
No wonder it sounds awful. Comparing it to the glorious 5.5 liter V8 that the Cadillac has in its.
Yeah, wait till the
engine bay.
Aston Martin comes around with the screaming V12. We'll have our opinions changed.
Imagine the amount of people that will be like. Yeah.
Okay, anyhow. There we go. Galani Haki around the outside trying to fight with Kanzani Ramdani, and Ramdani with a really tight line on the entry, which compromised on the exit, will allow Haki to come by. Haki is on his slipstream, and he gets by before the pit lane. There you go. That is as clean as a move as you'll like, but with no doubt, Ramdani will try to fight back here coming out to turn 1. He has the slipstream back again. Into turn 1 they go. Let's see how he's going to make it. Ramdani on the inside, Haki on the outside. They both touch. They go around. Ramdani goes around.
You spin me right round, baby. Oh wait, that's a blue group. Wait.
Oh,
which is
okay.
the blue
But that is just unfortunate for Ramdani, and he tries to grab onto the back of Ayman Hakim, but unfortunately he didn't go by there. Ayman lives to fight another day for the time being.
Kanzani could have done better, but to be fair, that's racing at the end of the day. If you don't race hard enough, how are you supposed to know your weakness? Just like in life, if you can't find what is it that you actually want to do in life, you're gonna be stuck in that puzzle for the rest of your life. So why not watch eRGP instead on a Friday night?
Okay, we're glazing out.
A lot of
Oh, look
yeah,
at that!
Murdoch.
Oh, what a dive! What a dive from Adam Harif! Murdoch makes it through! And how do he get that stop just in time was beyond us. That is quite absolutely brave piece of driving from everyone involved, but particularly for Adam Harif. Makes it stick. And now he's still gonna go for it here. He is a man on a mission. Around the outside goes Adam Harif on Kantani Ramdani. Tries to switch back because Ramdani is no doubt compromised because of the damage he incurred from crashing at turn number 1 through no fault of anybody but himself, spinning and lighting the rear wheels into the barriers.
Kalani Haki is lost position. I remember this position. Oh, it's just a timing tower. Around the outside,
Oh!
is what cut back. Nice move by Murdoch here.
Yes.
Dive down the inside. Jorge Martin moment locks up the brakes. Actually gets the job done. Good move. Good move. 5 out of
Yes.
5. 9.8 out of 10 by Adam Harit there. So don't say admin koyak because admin never koyak. But to be fair, good move, especially from a very up and coming sim racing driver in the country.
Yes. Let's hope that nobody would DM you personally on that one for some of the comments that we made here in the race. But
I've
anyhow,
gotten a lot of comments here, and I'm unhinged right now, and I'm on fire. What? Valentine's Day? And no, babe. I'd rather watch ERGP on my bed instead. Watching Adam Harif overtaking cars front, right, and center as Luis Xia is currently in the pits. Not sure why, but I guess he's actually, done for the first race. We should have one more.
Oh no, Ramdani again! Ramdani's gone off again! This time he's actually gone off into the final corner. Would you believe it? 2 straight laps in a row that he's pinned it and nearly harpoons into the side of Kimo. He'll be outside of the top 10.
Oh well, second incident with the Ferrari. Could have been worse, but to be fair, like I said, it's how you learn.
Well, he lives and learns, but unfortunately with a bit of pinch of regret because he knows full well that he had the pace here today to challenge out to the front, but incidents have put a dampener on what it could have been an absolute barnstormer of a finish he had, as we see Kimo challenging the wingless Ahmad Jusmin, and that was wingless by design. We unfortunately don't have the version of the mod for the Peugeot with the Evo Joker, which adds a bit of a rear wing, but nonetheless, good real racing here from everyone involved, and Keith will try to snatch away 10th place and pole position in the second race. So we'll keep an eye on this as it goes, as Chester Lam now will be coming around the final sector. Toyota winning on Toyota's home ground. Chester Lam then back with a vengeance out of the final corner, and he will make the run for home with an absolutely brilliant victory here. Lights are flashing, weaving left and right. There's nobody behind him. He comes across the line and wins round 1 here at Fuji, race number 1. Second place will be Muhammad Azhar, and a brilliant performance from the Bruneian there. Third place is his fellow Borneo island mate in Cameron James from Sarawak in third place. Fourth will be Galandi Haki, and fifth will be Michael Vincent Velasquez. Then Haywood Sui will be followed home by Ayman Hakim Abbas, and then 8th will be Adam Harif, 9th Arif Al-Hafizi, and 10th will be Ahmad Jusmin and Kimo that we're battling an eye on. And Jusmin does hold on to the position. He will start on pole position for race number 2. Kimo swerves out of pure frustration there. You know full well that he might be the man for the job here for race number 2. He is more than incensed after being punted off in that first race. Meanwhile, silver class, Imad Ryan comes across the final corner, then he leads the entire field of Orica 07s. Out of the final corner he comes, and he will take victory here in the silver class to open up his account for the season with, say, Apex Racing Brunei. He raced in gold last season. This time, silver, he wants to prove a point. He takes victory here. Second is Alonso Marcos Lacambra in the Hatsune Miku Good Smile Racing Orica. And third place will be Zef Yuen. So, that is it for race number 1. Well, it was a slow burner, wasn't it? But we still had plenty of interesting moments to talk about, Afik.
Yep. Race could have been better. Could have been more entertaining had it not been counted for all the spins. But, like I said, the fun was in bronze. Gold and silver is basically your A5 filet mignon wagyu that you enjoy it slowly and delicately, and then once it reaches to that point where the meat is actually good, then it'll be really good. So that's what gold and silver is.
Well, we have had some good racing in the last couple of seasons with the hypercars, so I'm not sure what kind of racing series they've been watching lately, I think. But yeah, definitely better than some of the seasons that we had prior to this. We definitely will love to be looking forward to what is in store this season because, again, that returning of Naki Aslan may have had a bit of a damp first race, but nonetheless, we'll be waiting for him to do the business in the second. So, Chestalam, your man of the moment right now with the win in race number 1 for Z Challenger Racing or whatever team that he's racing with, because last season he had a pseudo code team name called Akina's Speedless Stars, reference to Initial D of course. But regardless of what team he's driving for, that is a statement of intent from the Hong Konger up in front with second place as well, Muhammad Azhar, who's impressed in the Endurance Edition, really stepping up a notch here in the Global Edition. And third place, Cameron James, holding up the honors for HSM.
Yep. So it's a Toyota, Porsche, Caddy, Lambo, Porsche, Acura, Caddy, Peugeot, Ferrari, Caddy, and on last place, Toyota. I wonder why they don't give any love to the Beamer. I think it's a good car.
Maybe you should drive.
Why don't you sponsor me a rig?
No, you do.
Yeah, I should have just raced from the center there.
Anyhow, let's see then. We're waiting for the race to take over to the next one. Talking about the silver class, Iman Ryan here, winner in race number 1 for the silver category.
Lakshman. Oh, so we have another entrant to the race.
Yeah, Lakshman Ilancharan from Handshake Sim Racing. He will be starting up right there as well. But I saw also Shakir featuring Kirin, who was second in the bronze category last season. Looks as though he made a jump up to gold because he's driving Ferrari. He didn't make a start there, so we'll wait and see how this plays out for the other guys. But right now, race number 2 will be underway here, Afiq.
30 more seconds, gentlemen. Start your engine. Hey, okay, never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Yeah. So, Jusmin Al Hafizi, first and second. Peugeot versus Cadillac. V6 versus V8 American Power. No idea who's going to be winning this. But 6 lights on the gantry haven't shown up yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lights on the gantry. And as they go out, race 2 will be underway. It's a good start from the Peugeot. Better start from Murdoch in P3. He's actually going to dive down the outside of the Peugeot. Peugeot dives on the inside. And Cadillac dives on the inside. He's going to push Al Hafizi out wide. Al Hafizi goes wide. And Murdoch actually...
Oh no! Chester Long's been spun out! That's the race winner from race number 1, and he gets clouted by the rest of the field. He spins around into the crowd, and that puts paid to probably his chances of making it a double here.
Yep. Oh well, just a lump, tough luck. Anyway, back to the front action. Ahmad Jusmin, where you at? 0.2 of a second behind Murdoch. Murdoch had a belter of a start. He's leading the field now. There's Peugeot versus Acura versus Cadillac. What can the Cadillac do? Cadillac's right far behind. Peugeot's on the outside coming into the Dunlop chicane. Murdoch dives on the inside. Still there, holds his line as the brakes are locking up. We have a spinner. We have Haywood Sui spinning around the Hong Konger. And Michael Vincent Velasquez actually lost the position. So it's all kicking off. P7 is Nakib Azlan. We need to keep an eye on. Oh, never mind. Ramdhani clashes with his fellow Indonesian. So, oh well.
Wow, Ramdhani with a point to prove here after a nightmarish first race. Whacks into the side of Galani Haki. Haki somehow hangs on to it, and not all these cars are four-wheel drive. The Toyota, as far as we're concerned, is four-wheel drive, so that's why they could save those kind of spins. As V1 Nakib Azlan is up there.
Ahmad Jusmin, Adam Harid. You're better for the lead. Murdoch down the outside. Jasmine in the inside. Still okay. Aji.
Yeah,
we encourage this type of racing here in ERGP. I allow it. Please go ahead. Give this gentleman a show. Jasmine right behind now. Adam Hari actually overtook Jasmine into the inside coming into turn 3. Now, this is where the Acura actually gains speed. But he's actually losing speed here, the Acura. Adam Hari over braking, late brakes. Jasmine gets back the momentum and speed into the Dunlop chicane. A bit far back now, but will he make any bodacious attempt? Probably not.
Let's see then. Well, looks as though not yet. As the rest of the field stream by, we have 5 different manufacturers in that top 5 with Acura, Peugeot, Caddy, Lamborghini and Toyota running on that top 5, with that 5th place Toyota being none other than Naki Bazlan, who's looking to make up.
Don't jinx it, Emma. Jinxed it for him already early on. Pity the boy.
Yeah, he's looking to make amends after a disastrous first race as Alif Al Hafizi makes a meal of the last corner. Michael Vincent Velasquez goes through on the inside, but he can get a drive on it. And now, this is gonna be Naki Bazlan powering his way through to P3. Wow, what a move there from the Malaysian, the 4-time ERGP champion, proving that, well, he ain't gonna be a Jimmy Johnson, that's for sure. Despite dominating at one point, having a lull in a few periods, now he's back at it again.
Al Hafizi gets back the position. This is Naki master plan, if you ask me. He's just letting them do whatever they want. Oh no, man. Well, probably is the wife, but anyway.
Yes, for context, we were talking about Zarawati Vidyarama, who's talking about Adam Harif for sure. That's Murdoch's significant other. He's having a Valentine's Day to remember for sure on this one.
I'm not saying anything about that.
If he could keep it on the road here, but he has led before last year, especially in Watkins Glen, but he dropped it while leading, so he would not want the same thing to happen again.
Yep. Oh, Keith! Okay!
Lucky's in front! And Keith's in front as well! Oh no! The master!
Kill the master and the apprentice! Lucky's winning again!
the student and the master have both spun out in the very same corner, would you believe it?
Oh well.
And Naki,
yeah, bye-bye. Sorry, Naki.
Is calling it a day. And well, we were talking about not jinxing it. Well, that was prime.
I told you, Hamo, don't jinx it. See what happens? You made Naki disconnected.
I was just only stating the obvious. I wasn't even jinxing him.
Oh, yeah, man, we got another battle outside there. Oh, never mind, we got 2 battles there. Yeah, my outside there, spinning around. Sorry, another kid that's spinning around outside there, following right behind closely of Michael Vincent Velasquez. As
Pambudi goes off wide there, and that allows Velasquez to come by. Azza didn't make any inroads on that one, but Ramdani has gotten a good run out of turn number 1 and trying to overtake Pambudi. Pambudi goes off in the M92 Cadillac, but he hangs on to it just for the time being. Wow. And all the while then, we have not actually focused much on the silver category because it is quite intense too. Look at that! Zef Yuen, who finished second in that first race, is leading Iman Ryan, and both of them are knowing full well that points, no matter how they're being scored, is important in the long run.
Yep. Zef came a long way from the Speed 7 days.
Yes. Yeah, talk about the Speed 7 days though. It's been a while since you yourself have hosted that league, but it was great times, especially during the pandemic days.
We're gonna go through the races, but we're gonna talk about let me take you back to the good old Speed 7 days. Now, so for those of you who may be new into the sim racing scene, I'm not trying to boast about my old racing profile when I was still sim racing back then, and when I actually weigh a lot less than I do now. But truth to it is that back then eRGP was solely focused on Global Edition, and it was racing on Race Room, which is a completely different platform. So race director Alex Young decided, hey, why not we make a league? Why not we make a one-off race with ACC? And that's what he did. The first ever endurance edition for eRGP was actually the 4 Hours of Silverstone. I was driving the Bentley with my teammate Ivan, and it was a wonderful car to drive, show director. And I just to mention to you, I started 20th, and guess my position at the final hour. At the end of the first hour. Second. 20th to second. I think that was my best stint ever. But to be fair, like, everybody was new to the ACC platform, so. And I've been racing there for quite some time. So after eRGP Endurance Edition concluded, Speed 7 was already hosting its own ACC league, but it was under a different guy. It was under this guy called Ika that was running it. as Adam Arif weaving front, right, and center. So it's fine. He's got a big enough gap. So it was Ika that was running the show, but he had kids. And not only that, he had kids, but he also had a daytime job. And I was like, what, 19, 20, around that period?
Okay, there you go. He actually revealed himself how old he is.
I'm not telling, shut up. I'm not letting myself, I'm not exposing myself more. So, my vision for Speed 7 was I wanted to give back to the community. And by giving back to the community, basically making Speed 7 as a all-in-one platform, all-in-one community where my old sim racing, like, come on, if you made the comeback to sim racing, don't leave the sim racing before the sim racing leaves you. Fair enough.
Oh, nice one there, Tasby.
Yeah.
Very good comment.
So Speed 7 as a whole, we were a community. It was a Discord community. It was one of the biggest sim racing communities in the country.
Sorry, go ahead.
It was one of the biggest sim racing communities in the country. And you have, different admins for different racing platforms. So I was in charge of ACC, and then I have my friend who was in charge of Dirt Rally 2 before WRC was even a thing. EA Sports WRC was even a thing. We didn't run any leagues on F1 because there was already a league. So why fight against a platform that is already there? And why not just race with platforms that no one races? So for Speed 7, we were known to be doing a lot of AC, ACC, Dirt Rally 2, as Michael and Alif fighting it out.
Yeah, let's hold that story for now. Let's see, coming to turn number 1 here. This is the box seat where my boy Ramdhani, who's going to blink first between the Malaysian and the Filipino, who's driving for the Singapore team. LOR is sent as Velasquez goes a bit wide and he's trying to ram it up for turn number 2. And guess what? It's working in his favor. That's a good run coming into the kink. And he makes it. He outfoxes Alif Al-Hafizi and gets up the ball. Yeah, we're gonna stay on board here. Naki Bazla unfortunately has officially retired from the race. So unfortunately, one collision too many, and this will be probably one of his, not his best days out in a sim race ever. So it's probably it's probably just one of those days, isn't it? But anyway, back up to Ramdhani now. He's now gonna be trying to work his way up to the back of Alif Al-Hafizi. All the while, then more traffic is coming by. Azaz behind. Pambudi's getting up. Keith Moss also not that far away.
Better for the lead as well.
Good. It's good. This is getting good.
Better for the lead as well. I might just mean, I'll tell my story while this fight is happening. So anyway, back to the good old days of Speed 7. So different admins, different platforms. I was in charge of ACC, and my vision for it was that I wanted to host Malaysia's biggest ACC championship. Not endurance racing format, but we did do a few endurance racing formats. So the calendar was basically a global edition and endurance edition, but it was on ACC, and that's what we did. It was actually a winning formula. We've had drivers from SRO Asia actually racing with us. So at one point, Suyo,
Pambudi goes wide, and that allows Azza through. Hafizi tries to work onto the back of Ramdhani, but he didn't get by either. As all the while, then Jusmin is also chasing up to the back of Murdoch. So a lot of comments are coming through for Handshake Sim Racing.
Well, we have to go back
Handshake Sim Racing, Adam Arif.
Yeah, we have to go back to Hafizi. He's actually fighting it out with Kanzaini. So getting closer there.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's getting very close.
Yeah,
we're coming out to the chicane here. Whether or not that might actually entail a maneuver, we'll wait and see.
Yep. So yeah, so that's what Speed 7 was actually. It was the biggest sim racing ACC community, not just in Malaysia, but also in Southeast Asia and Asia Pacific. At one point, we've had drivers from Australia, we've had drivers from Japan. The furthest we had was a driver from Ireland out of every country in the world. We also had an American, but then he was an American, so the time zones didn't really work out for him that well.
Okay, meanwhile, this is coming up now to the home stretch. Adam Harif is under severe pressure. Murdoch is trying to defend. That sounds good, but Jusmin goes beyond the hard shoulder to get by. Can he get it stopped in time? Yes, he does. Side by side they go. Adam Harif hangs it around the outside. Murdoch hangs it very strong in the Acura, and the Peugeot has no way to respond to that. Murdoch goes back through. Jusmin has to hang back.
Oh, Jusmin!
Jusmin spun around. There goes the win for him. Adam Harif survives an onslaught from the wingless Porsche and hangs on to the win.
Did you say wingless Porsche? Wingless Pojo, there you go, yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
because it's heat of the moment, man.
I'm Ramdani and Al-Hafizi also fighting it out with one another. So we've got quite a number of fights. It's actually a battle for... Oh, never mind.
Pambudi. Yeah.
Pambudi into the wall.
Yeah, and he spins around. Hopefully he doesn't spin into the crowd. But wow, what an incredible battle for the win that we had. We were robbed of it because of the Pojo getting it all crossed up and just been once again facing the wrong way. Sorry, I think you might have to continue that story another time as we are still battling it out neck and neck here. Hafizi goes around the outside, Asa on the inside, and now Keith Mo is actually joining the fray.
Oh well, I'll leave my story for another day.
Yeah.
So I leave that story in the head.
Yeah, we'll leave it for another day because it was getting a little bit trolley, but let's probably just wait it for an endurance race. Anyhow, there is that battle for P3 still going on ever so strongly here, but Fizi, Azza, and Keith Mo joining the fray on this one on the inside, and now he swings it on the outside. Does Keith Mo? He's actually using the slipstream and ducks it back on the inside to get up to Azza. There is a back marker. Oh no! Ila Chandran goes off! Oh, that is the worst way that you stop the car, and that allows Keith Mo to come through.
Oh well, beauty of multi-class racing.
Yeah, but Lashman there with a very bad lapse in judgment to try and get by, to let the leaders come by, and unfortunately braked on the grass and just pinballed his way through to let another driver come through.
Alright then, gentlemen. Murdoch, what can you do?
Well, he does have a 4-second advantage too. Cameron James, his teammate in Handshake Sim Racing, so he'll be happy knowing the fact that he doesn't have to worry about a driver that he doesn't know in front of him as he overtakes Justin Raldev. Justin hasn't had the best of outings again here at Fuji, but he will no doubt be looking forward to the next round because it was promising. He was 4th in that first race. Either way, Adam Harif has a teammate right behind for company so that at least he can act as rear gunner to Michael Vincent Velasquez. So Velasquez now will probably make things a little bit more uncomfortable for the HSM duo up in front as we are now on the final lap of what has been a dramatic race, and it's probably not over yet because back markers can still come into play, and of course an odd mistake can happen from anybody in this top 3 that will throw the race into a tailspin.
Timing is moving so much that I'm not sure who is leading what. Such a pity for this one.
Yeah, Guzman, where is he right now? Actually, he is P9.
P9.
Let's see where he's, in fact, we focused on a car in the pit lane. That was Pambudi. But, this is Ramdani and Keith Mo. In fact, Keith Mo is nicked for the position around the outside by Ramdani. So that shows experience coming to the fore then for the Indonesian on the relatively... Well, he's actually quite experienced now, isn't he, Keith Mo? Very experienced in sim racing, but...
Hasn't managed to win a championship yet.
Only in lower categories, just lower categories.
Lower categories,
but
yeah.
not in gold, which actually Rick, his father, has promised that if he wins, he gets a PS5. So we'll wait and see how that goes. For now,
I want a PS5.
Yeah, but you're not his son, so let's be honest. But anyway, out of the final corner then, Adam Arif will take the victory here. And he swings across the line. Yes, we see a battle for the behind it. This is very close. Cameron James will have to hang on to this, but Adam Arif Murdoch takes his first win in the gold class. Cameron James hanging on for 2nd in front of Michael Vincent Velasquez in the yellow RSN Lamborghini as the rest of it come by. Look at that. Ramdani and Keith Mo across the line. Keith Mo, son, would you believe it? By the death, over by just 200ths of a second. Ramdani loses the position to Keith Mo, and Ramdani a little bit violent towards his former teammate, I would say, in one of the categories. But Keith Mo hung on to that one to end P4. I'm definitely losing my voice right now from all the action that's happened, but credit to where credit's due. Murdoch, Adam Arif will take the victory here, and he will celebrate it like it's no tomorrow.
Yep. Good win for Murdoch. Good start from him, actually. I mean, that's what led to the win. I mean, he could have been a happy boy. Is he in the chat, show director?
Yep, but meanwhile, we're waiting for the LMP2 guys to come by, and that is Iman Ryan just across the line. Sorry, in fact, Zeph Yuen just about 9/10 of a second in front of Chester Elong. We can pick out some of the drivers because their tags are missing here. Alonso Lacambra finishes in 3rd, makes it a double podium for the Hatsune Miku Good Smile Livery Orica. P5 is Imarayan, and P6 is Corin Mercado. So one of Russell Reyes' young charges has managed to make it up to P5 in class as the rest of the field got through. That's, well, pretty much a mature way to end the race today. But the man of the hour here, or man of the moment, is Adam Harif, aka Murdoch, who manages to hang on to it by the skin of his teeth. At one point, battling with Ahmad Jusmin. Jusmin spun out when he tried to retaliate, but Murdoch kept his powder dry and now signals his statement of intent to try and challenge for the gold class title, Abik.
Good start, good win. That's how you start a race, Mo.
Yeah, start the season, I mean.
But still counts, Mo. At the end of the day, it's not. They don't remember the guy who finishes in second place. They remember the guy who finishes in first place. And congratulations to all the winners, especially Adam Harid.
Indeed, and of course, that first race was also being won by Chester Lam, who didn't have the best of second races, but nonetheless, we were treated to some good ones, and it's been a long time coming to say that, isn't it, I think, because normally gold and silver races are a bit processional affairs with a few some action between, but now because of the hypercars and Oricas being involved here, it has been quite an exciting past couple of seasons. But for now, we will go into a slight commercial break. Maybe we'll get some interviews after this, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back to eRacing GP Global Edition 17. My name is Amir Moazik. Alongside me is Afiq Farid. And it looks as though this might be a little bit premature, but we might have to end the broadcast right here after some amazing races in all four classes. But because all the drivers seem to be fun out today, we have nobody to interview. But thank you for joining for tonight. For those in the comments in the chat, thank you for keeping it very lively on Facebook and on YouTube. And of course, thank you for all the races to come by and joining us for tonight. And we'll hope to see you next time. From us, our sponsors X-Park, Ross Lango, and Axel Sports, it's goodbye for now. And we'll see you in a fortnight's time for round number 2. So for now, it's goodbye.